also at 1-0 on the young season.
Got a man wide open, and it's caught for the touchdown. R.J. Spears. And it is caught in the back corner. Touchdown, Broken Arrow. It's intercepted by the Tigers at the 40-yard line. Jamion Franklin with the interception, and the Tigers smell blood. Welcome to Moore, Oklahoma on a gorgeous Thursday evening in September. I'm Adam Hildebrandt alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine is on the sidelines for us, and we're excited to bring you some Broken Arrow Tiger football this evening here on ArrowVision. Spav, both of these teams, Broken Arrow and Westmoore, coming into this game at 1-2 on the year, but the Tigers have faced some very stiff competition in the last couple of weeks, and it would appear that those first three games, those non-district games, have prepared them for the opening of district play tonight.
There is no doubt about that. The first three games is what I call the evaluation part of your season to begin with. It is so crucial to play good opponents. Therefore, and it's not so much the win or loss of those, it's where you can move your personnel, where they best fit. Also your play selections. Can we only run this play to the right or whatever? There's certain things that you have to evaluate every play, every personnel, and that's what you do each game, because you'll find in those tough games like we had is some that just didn't show up. They stick their tail between their legs, and I don't mean to really say that they're scared or whatever, but it's they're just not ready sometimes, so now we're just fixing to start the second part of our season, and this is where it all counts. Now each game counts now, and this is the time where most of the people have all their packages pretty much complete, as far as offense and defense. And also their personnel is pretty much finalized. So barring injuries, this is what we're going to see the rest of the year, and they need to fine-tune, get better, and continue as we go.
You mentioned, learning what you do and don't do well. Coach Blankenship mentioned on Inside Tiger Football this week, brought to you by Rib Crib, that they learned some things as a coaching staff. What do we not do well? How do we not want to run the football?
Exactly.
And that's important to learn over those first few games.
There's no doubt. I mean, it just takes one play. I remember, my son was an offensive coordinator at Texas A&M. He said, we could only run this particular play to the right just because the timing was perfect with the quarterbacks and whatever. We couldn't do it to the left. So these are things you have to evaluate. You have to evaluate every single play and how you need to run it, what formation's best, and just everything that can dictate success. You need to figure out how.
Let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast team tonight, Madison Dildine, who's down there in the elements on the sidelines. It's certainly not like when we opened it at Mansfield Legacy. It's not 97 degrees, but it's not cool either, Madison. What's the weather like down there?
Yeah, guys, it feels phenomenal down here. It's around 80 degrees. There's a light breeze, and it should be a great night for some Tiger football.
That's what we're looking forward to. Thank you very much, Madison. And we've even got the camera rolling down there as well. So it's all systems go here in Moore tonight. The teams are going to take the field shortly. We will take a short break and be back with more in just a moment. This is Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Finding your happy place is something special and different for everyone. You probably already know where to find yours, and TTCU Federal Credit Union can help you get there. Talk with our team. We'll give you the tools to build the financial future you want. So wherever your happy place finds you, TTCU will meet you there. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Back here in Moore, Oklahoma, Adam Hildebrandt, Steve Spavital with you. Jeremy Bryan, our spotter, is standing over shoulder as well. Goggles, not goggles. What am I talking about here? Binoculars ready.
There you
go. to help us figure out who's tackling who and whatnot over the course of the game this evening. The Westmoore Jaguars have their inflatable blown up down and to our left. The Tigers are across the field from us, but that Jaguar looks a little bit like Spav. I don't know if you saw the Carolina Panthers debuted like a half reality. I don't even remember what they called it. It was like a half reality
jumped
Jaguar
around the stadium.
Yeah, it was wild. Whoever came up with the way to do that kind of technology is a heck of a lot smarter than me, because I can't even imagine how that would come to pass. But it was pretty cool. Anyhow, we got high school football on the way tonight. It is district football as district play gets kicked off between these two teams. We'll have the coin toss for you shortly, but again, both these teams coming in at 1-2 on the year, and tonight is going to be another opportunity for Griffin Stieber to take steps in the right direction. He started off really hot, had a perfect game throwing the football 9 for 9, I believe it was, when we were at Mansfield Legacy. And has run up against a couple of more tough defenses in the last couple of weeks. So we'll see how he continues to adjust. And Coach Blankenship was still pleased with what they had seen from him in terms of his progressions and things of that nature. So we'll see if he can find some open receivers tonight.
You know, I think he does a great job. You know, by looking at film with Westmoore, they're pretty sporadic what they do. You know, they've ran different defenses every week, but in the secondary, there seems to be confusion. So this is a great time for Stieber to step up and really deliver the ball in good situations. We need to set the tempo in the passing game because we have, I think it's like, what are we, 5.7 yards per catch. And our opponents are 8.6. And I think that's such a crucial statistics because I think the teams that win that battle are the ones that can win probably about 83% of your games because it's so crucial. It opens up your running game. You try and run, you can't throw, and that's going to be important. And it's also the same thing. Can you throw vertical or can you throw short? And that's going to help up. Where's your screen game coming? If you can't throw deep, your screen game's not going to work. So there's a lot of things that we have to, we had to evaluate with ourselves. But, just what we got to do is we got to start quick and let's go play some football.
The nice thing is you're finally getting to the point of the year now where some of those statistical numbers that don't really mean anything over the first couple of games, you're starting to get enough data to where that starts to come into play. Let's go back down to the sideline and Madison Dildine, who's got the captains for Broken Arrow for us tonight. Madison?
Yeah, guys, we've got number 4, Atchison, 36, Floyd Wright, 45, Devin Shaw, 33, Trey Federhoff, and 73, Evan Robinson.
All right, we've got the coin toss coming your way as well. Let's keep it down there with Madison.
Everybody happy? Everybody know everybody? Johnson, I'm your referee. Richard Jacobs is your umpire tonight. Behind him in the defensive backfield will be Kurt Thurman. On the chains, Mark Richard, but he'll start off over here and then home at halftime. Okay? Broken Arrow, you're the visitors. You're going to get to call this. Get the coin here. There we go. There's a head. There's a tail. I want you to call it. Tell me what he says. He'll write it down. I'll toss it. If I catch it, we'll look at it. If I drop it, we'll do it again, okay? Go ahead.
Tails. Said tails.
Tails, Richard. All right, here we go. It's ahead. You've won the toss. You can defer, receive, kick, defend a goal. Westmoore won the toss. They'll defer to the second half.
Westmoore won the toss. They deferred their decision to the second half.
Choices are receive, kick, defend a goal. Kick, defend a goal.
Kicking that way.
You don't want to receive.
No, sir.
You're positive.
100%.
Because the second half, you're not going to get a choice. They're going to get a choice. Okay. But well, you only get to pick. You only get to pick one. You want to kick from that way, this way?
Yes, sir.
You can do that.
Yes, sir. We won the ball. We won the ball.
I kind of figured you did.
Yeah, we won the ball. Okay.
All right. He's going to receive. Which way you want to kick? I'm trying to talk you into it, brother. All right. Put your backs over here. You guys put your backs to that goal.
All right, so there was some confusion going on in there, but eventually what turned out to be the case was that Westmoore won the toss. Broken Arrow eventually elected to receive the kick.
Glad to talk him into it.
Yeah. So Broken Arrow will start off with the ball first. Madison Dildine, why don't you reintroduce us to our officials real quick that we just learned about?
Yeah, guys, your head ref is Rick Johnson. We've got Richard Jacobs, Mark Rashad, Stephen Embry, and Kurt Thurman. Guys.
That's our crew for the evening. Thank you, Madison. And how about Madison getting us the audio from the coin toss there? I mean, that was an adventurous one to get to hear, so I'm kind of glad.
I know.
For
that's the first we
got
had.
to hear
That was a great idea. I loved it.
So hopefully we'll be able to carry those for you throughout the remainder of the season, as long as the officials keep being kind to us and allowing us access to it. But thank you again to our officiating crew for allowing us to snag that audio this evening. And good work, Madison, going out and getting it. All right, so a little bit of confusion. But Broken Arrow's going to get the ball first, and now you got a chance. And we were talking about this on the drive down here, Spav. You said Tigers need to start fast. Here's your opportunity.
Yes.
You get the ball first.
Exactly, and that's what you need to do because we've only scored 7 points in the first and fourth quarter. So it's so important that we start fast, and we need to do that. In order to do that, we need to be a little more efficient on first down, and what that means is our third down conversions will be better. Because our third down conversions are somewhere around 28%, which is very extremely low compared to our opponents at 53%. So, our opponents have been continuing to keep in drives where we haven't converted them, and we need to do that. So that's real important. Open up the passing game. I think we'll be able to do that tonight because of what I've seen. But more importantly, I think one thing that we need defensively especially is turnovers. We need turnovers. We're at +0 on the turnover margin. And you need to be in the plus to do that, and or to be successful, and we are not there.
Have been able to, force the occasional turnover, and have been close on a few others, but haven't been able to just consistently find extra possessions for the offense. And his defense over the course of the year has intercepted 2 passes, recovered 1 fumble, so that's about 1 forced turnover per game. And as you get through district play, you're going to have to probably create a little more than that in order to be, sustained success over the course of the schedule.
There's no doubt, because when you win the turnover battle during a game, you're going to win 70% of the time. That's how crucial turnovers are. And the thing is we need to really start with our defense by creating the turnovers. It's not just an opportunity when the ball comes to you to get an interception or whatever. We have to create them. They just don't come our way usually. So that's important. We need to get that mindset to start creating the turnovers. So as we travel through this process of this second part of our season, we're going to need to have that win the turnover battle.
Both teams have taken the field. Westmoore will be in black jerseys with gray pants and black helmets, the Westmoore Jaguars. For Broken Arrow, black helmets, white jerseys, black pants tonight. A fairly classic look for Broken Arrow. Not quite as classic as the gold pants, but a very simple look with the black, white, black combination this evening. So that's what we're looking at in terms of the uniform matchup this evening. It's an east-west running field, not the traditional north-south.
Yes.
So one team will be looking into the sun for, maybe 20 minutes here, maximum 30 as the sun gets ready to set over the western horizon, which is
just
and that's
off
a good
of our right
point.
shoulder.
That's a good point because of field position. You know, when you choose it at the beginning of the coin toss,
Well, and it's
that has to be a factor.
So, if for instance, at Oklahoma State, Boone Pickens Stadium, that field runs east and west, but you've got that west end zone that elevates up off of the ground, and so it blocks a lot of the sun. It creates shade. You don't have that here. It's an open parking lot next door. So until that sun drops below the horizon, it's going to have an effect. Broken Arrow will be receiving from the east side, from the east end zone. So they'll be looking into the sun on the kickoff, but the receivers will be looking back at Griffin Stieber when the ball's in the air. So as those receivers are looking back, that sun won't affect them. The lights are on, but we've still got some daylight to play with here and more.
This is a nice little stadium, too. It looks like they've added on some locker rooms and some things, so they've really did some improvements on this field.
A decent group of Tiger fans have made the trip over to take in the action as well. The ball is teed up at the 40-yard line for Westmoore. Again, kicking right to left. Kicking off will be Jackson Lee, a sophomore kicker, but with good size, 6'3", 160. To this day, I'm not 6'3".
Yeah.
He stands back at his own 29, ready to approach the kick.
We should be able to return this. We should be able to return this.
Horn and Spears Jennings back to receive. Not a ton of wind to speak of. The kick is away. It's a good kick. Coming to the near side. It's caught by Spears Jennings on the 1 yard. Wants to return it up the right hash. Looking for a gap, and he's got one across the 20. Knocked sideways at the 25, and he falls forward out to the 29-yard line. Decent field position for the Tigers to start things off.
Very nice. Had a little opening there, too.
Yeah, the seam was there initially. It closed up on him eventually, but
he'll find it if we keep the blocking, keep that little tunnel sealed.
If that kick is 4 yards shorter and caught at the 5-yard line, that probably makes the difference, and he probably gets another 10 yards there. What have you seen? I know you've seen some different things on film defensively from this Jaguars squad.
Right. I've seen anywhere from 3-4 to 4-3 to I've seen a new defense every week. It looks like they're going to be in a 3-4 type concept now.
The old amoeba defense. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 running back to the right side of Griffin Stieber in the backfield. There's a tight end on the left side of the formation as well, so it's essentially quads left.
Well, it's unbalanced, and it's really unbalanced, and they did not
Swing
even
pass to
adjust.
the far side. Marion Horn has some room across the 35-yard line, steps inside a defender, and then is suplexed at the 45-yard line. He got body slammed a little bit, but it's a nice gain on first down, and Marion Horn gets the first touch of the game.
Well, they were totally confused. I could see they weren't lined up very well to begin with because they had 2 guys covering a tackle. So they didn't have anybody on this side. See, we're doing it again.
Yep, same formation, but this time to the boundary. A handoff to Horn, left side. He's got the edge across the 50-yard line, knocked down from behind, and he gains another 11 yards, this time on the run, out to the Westmoore 44-yard line. 2 really nice plays already for the Tiger offense.
Well, we have at least a 2-man advantage that side. So I think what we're going to find, he changed the formation. I think what we're going to say when we see that, he's going to bring a reverse or something back to the field.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Ball on the left hash. Stieber wants to throw. Slant pattern over the middle. It's incomplete. That was intended for McMillan on the far side. The junior wideout couldn't quite get to it. It was a little out in front of him. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, we just need to flatten out those, slant routes a little bit. You just got to find that opening.
Here's the snap on 2nd and 10. Handoff straight up the middle. I think that was Jones with the carry that time. He's got about 5, maybe 6 yards down inside the 40-yard line. They mark him down at the 38. That was indeed Nate Jones, who joined us on Inside Tiger Football this week. It brings up 3rd down and 4. That's an excellent gain on 2nd down to bring up 3rd and manageable.
Absolutely. That was an inside power. So they're running the power game. You can see that we have the Y off, and
Marion Horn has not come off the field yet. That has been unusual this season. He's played some plays, but not many of them. Here's the reverse to Horn, trying to turn the corner and get the first down on 3rd down and 4. He is tripped up and very close to the first down marker, but I don't think he quite got there. They're spotting him about 6 inches short of the yard to gain marker.
Boy, the guy made a great tackle on him because that's exactly what you want. You want
Marion Horn in space.
In space. Because the kid can wiggle, and that kid just made a good play on him.
There are a few things more terrifying to a defensive coordinator at the Oklahoma State or Oklahoma high school level than Marion Horn in space.
Well, because you go up there and say, there's just one guy. That's
tight formation here. It's a direct snap to Jones. He's got the carry over the left side. First down, yardage to the 30. Knocked backwards, but then he gets away from the defender and stumbles forward for another 2 yards down to the 28-yard line. Strong run.
Yeah, we're able to basically do whatever we want right now. The throwing game is we're working on it, plus the running game is just really strong right now.
1st and 10, Broken Arrow from the Westmoore 28-yard line. Moving left to right into the sunset here in Moore. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Here's the snap, the fake, the handoff to Jones. Stieber carries it himself straight up the middle. He's knocked down from behind. It gives him about 7 yards down to the 21-yard line. And on the tackle that time was Michael Patterson McDonald.
I like that. I like what I'm seeing on that. You know, quarterback run game, perfect.
2nd down and 3 now from just outside the red zone. Stieber rolling to his right, throws towards the flat. It's caught at the 15. And still on his feet on the near side is Sterling Ramsey. It looked like he got knocked down briefly, but he somehow kept his feet underneath him. He's knocked out of bounds around the 11-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there.
Well, if we're really efficient on our run game, I tell you, the throwing game's going to be wide open right now because they're just having man-to-man and having one guy on one guy. So, I mean, one guy in the boundary here.
Horn in the slot left, Fox in the slot right. 2 receivers to either side for Stieber in an empty set right now. He's got Joshua Wilhite, the tight end, to his right also.
I don't see anybody covering the tight end.
No, a lot of space out there. They flip it forward to Marion Horn, who gets a couple yards down to the 9-yard line. He was bottled up. A little shovel pass there brings up 2nd down and 8.
They actually defended that very well.
Boy, that was a lot of one-on-one coverage, Spav.
Oh, it is, and that's to our advantage. We have some receivers that are unbelievable. And if you're just going to put one guy on him, I'm going to take my chances.
This yells for a fade to R.J. Spears-Jennings.
Absolutely.
Right here. Here's the snap. They fake the pass. Stieber now trying to scramble with it. He is knocked down, somehow able to fall forward. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. He loses a yard back to the 10. It looked like there might have been some confusion on that play.
I think so, too, because the back was wide open. I mean, they have no one covering the back. You know, if it is, it's an inside linebacker, and that's to our advantage. So, you know, they're trying to load the box in here, and see, right now, they got to bring another guy over the 3 receivers.
Trips left on 3rd and 9 on the wide side of the field. Here's the snap. Tight end was left as well. Stieber in trouble. He dropped the football, but I think a Tiger lineman was able to jump on it back at the 18-yard line. He was swallowed up almost immediately. Somehow able to get back down and get the football was Reed Adams, the right tackle.
Yeah, that was that unbalanced look again. You know, that was the Trips unbalanced. Just had a tackle backside away from him. Very unusual formation.
4th down and long back at the 18-yard line, and it's a field goal attempt on the way from Hunter Martins, who made his first career field goal 2 weeks ago at Owasso. 1 for 1 in his career. Snap was a little high, but it gets down. The kick is on its way, and it is through the uprights.
Good.
Hunter Martins 2 for 2 in his kicking career at Broken Arrow. That one a 35-yarder, and it puts the Tigers on the board 3-0 with 7:25 to play in the first.
That's a good first drive, you know, coming down and score. We need to finish, though. I mean, we had the ball, you know, inside the 15, didn't we? It started inside the 15. And we needed to finish. We got to finish these drives. That's important.
Got down to 2nd and 8 at the 9, and then a couple of negative plays pushed it back a little bit. Martins, remember, hit the crossbar with that 39-yarder at Owasso.
Yeah.
That one got through with plenty of room to spare.
know.
That was a very solid kick. 3-0 Broken Arrow.
Yeah, we just need to finish our drives and just be a little more efficient. It seems like we got out of the game plan there at the very end when we got into the red zone from what we did to get there.
The defense will have its first opportunity shortly.
Now, offensively, Westmoore has some athletes. They have a lot of tremendous athletes. Their line is not really efficient, but they have the receivers. I'm not sure if the quarterback is a great thrower, but he does like to bootleg out because now he has the option to run the ball. Now, they ran a kickoff back last week against Moore.
So they got some talent from that perspective, certainly.
Yeah, we got to be careful now.
Back to receive is Kevion Williams
along with Xavier Simpkins. Martins has the ball teed up at the 40. Lime green tee sitting on the X in the middle of the field.
Oh, this is a Cox game. No wonder I was wondering.
Yeah.
Why aren't we kicking the
waiting,
ball?
We were waiting for a break.
Yeah, the old Red Hats out there, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm going to have to pay more attention to that myself.
This is a Cox football game, so.
Now we're ready to go.
Here we go, yeah.
Whistle is blown. Martins will kick into the sunset. The kick's away. It's a high, short, end-over-end kick. Caught at the 11-yard line. That's Williams at the far side. And he stumbles down at the 24-yard line. Check that. That was, in fact, Andre Williams, not Kevion Williams.
Great coverage.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line for Westmoore. And you were mentioning Shaheem Johnson a moment ago. 40 for 72 on the year, so 55% for 402 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Rushes the ball a little bit. 3 rushing touchdowns on the year. And there it is, that kind of tight formation. You got 2 receivers right and a tight end left. 2 tight ends in the game, as a matter of fact.
I know. One's off, one's on a Y off. You can see him as a wing over here.
They hand it off straight up the middle on 1st and 10. A big lick right at the line of scrimmage. He's able to push his way forward out to about the 27, just shy of the 28-yard line. Gain him about 2.5 on the play.
Now you can see the smoke and mirrors that they're doing. You know, they're bringing that motion across, and then there's a lot of smoke and mirrors with it. They can hand the ball off to him. The fullback can kick out and they run a split zone. There's a lot of things that they can do in this situation.
2nd and a long 7. Somebody not on the depth chart is in at running back. That's Andre Williams. He's listed as a wide receiver. They hand it off to him. Oh, and he's rocked at the 27-yard line.
Great job. See what they did is they blocked down with the wing and they sealed that corner. But boy, we made some good tackles there.
That was Jalen Franklin on the stop that time.
Yeah, he did a nice job. Now it's 3rd and long, so we're either going to put pressure on him.
3rd and 6, and this is something that Broken Arrow has not been great at this year. Opponents achieving 3rd down 53% of the time. Motion into the backfield. And they got him to jump off sides. Now, that's not enough for the 1st down. It's 3rd and 6, so it'll make it 3rd and 1. It makes it easier for Westmoore, but it does not give them a 1st down.
It just changes their play selection. I mean, now they have the ability to run the football now. You know, they can insert their whole playbook at this point.
Broken Arrow has made some untimely penalties over the course of the year. The Tigers are averaging almost 8 penalties a game from a little more than 80 yards a contest. I'd like to see those numbers start to, regress a little bit. 3rd down and 1, a handoff straight up the middle. Not a ton of running room, but able to break a couple of tackles is Brandon Arnold. He's out to the 40, and that'll move the chains for Westmoore. 1st down and 10.
That was a good play. They're running the split zone there, and he just, the good thing about the split zone is the back can just find the hole. I mean, the line's blocking one way, but he doesn't have to run that way. He can just surf and find that opening. That's the advantage of the split zone.
1st down and 10. Jaguars from their own 40, moving right to left. Ball in the near hash. From our perspective up here in the press box. 2 tight ends and a receiver left. They hand it off left side, right up the middle for Arnold. Not much room to work that time. He lost a couple yards back to the 38-yard line. Tell you what, the front 4 for Broken Arrow so far, they're not letting that line of scrimmage move very much on the snap.
No, they're not. They're standing straight up, and we're really penetrating pretty well. They're actually they're so bunched up and so tight, they're running 3 tight ends at that last one, actually a fullback and 2 tight ends.
They got 2 tight ends in the game this time, both of them to the left side. 2 receivers split right, including Xavier Ware in the slot. Here's the snap. Johnson wants to throw. The lefty slings it over the right side. It's incomplete, too low for the intended target, Xavier Simpkins. That'll bring up 3rd down and long, and here's a big opportunity to get off the field, Span.
Yes, I know. Sometimes, as a quarterback, he fakes one way, he's trying to trick you, and then he looks the other way and throws it. The timing's off. His timing was completely off. He needs to throw it as his first read.
Johnson runs the play into the huddle. 3rd down and 11. They've spotted him at the 39-yard line. A whistle and a timeout. Westmoore was taking too much time to get the play in. That'll give us a brief pause, and we'll take a break as well. Broken Arrow leads at 3-0, 4:51 to play in the first quarter. This is Tiger Football on ArrowVision.
Just a reminder, there will come a time when they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true. Right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Welcome back to Moore, Oklahoma, as we approach 7:30 on this Thursday evening. The first of two games that will be played on Thursday evenings over the course of the next few weeks. Broken Arrow finally gets to return home next week, Spav. Well, I say return home. That's not even accurate. Play at home for the first time this year next week.
Isn't that unusual? I mean,
it's been brutal.
This is like we should have homecoming now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just our first ball game next week.
I mean, it's going to be the last. No, it's going to be October 1st. They will have not played a game at home until October.
I know.
I was about to say the last day of September, but then I remembered.
I mean, I've never seen that. I've never been associated with that before, so it's kind of quite unusual.
And certainly the bye week didn't help.
I know.
That's a lot of time on the road. Third down and 11 here. Motion into the backfield for Westmoore across the formation left to right. Oh, they got him offside.
They tried to freeze him again, yep.
They tried to freeze him, and everyone was on the same page except for Kevion Williams, who was the receiver in motion there. He took off. That'll move Westmoore back 5 yards, so now it's third and really long. And now you almost have to get off the field here. On third and 16, you cannot allow them to convert this.
No. I don't think they have the ability to throw the ball very well.
Here's the snap. Johnson. Oh, a whistle and a stoppage. I'm actually not sure what happened there. I don't see a flag anywhere. It's possible that the clock did not start. 4:49 remaining in the first quarter. Broken Arrow leads 3-0. The only clock that we have access to is way over to our left on the scoreboard. There is an older scoreboard, kind of a classic-looking scoreboard down and to our right, but it appears to be off at the moment. And the play clock is off on it. Oh, now the play clock's moving again. All right, third down and 16. Let's try it again. 4 down linemen. They come. A screen tossed over on the right side. It's caught, but a good tackle in space. Zane Chavez was the receiver. And now a late flag comes in. Uh-oh. On the tackle that time was Buddy Mack. Boy, and if this is some sort of a late hit penalty, that would be brutal. You stopped him.
Or a personal foul or something, yes.
As it stands, it would be 4th and about 14. It was only a 2-yard gain. The Tigers did a good job getting to the screen. And the officials are facing Broken Arrow's direction. They're still talking it over, though. Let's see if we can listen in. Personal foul on the Tigers, and that will give Westmoore a first down. Boy, that's the kind of stuff that you really can't be having.
Can't do. See, that stuff you can control.
Had Westmoore stopped.
So you can control your toughness. You can control your attitude. You know, there's a lot of things you can control. Your effort.
First and 10, Westmoore from the Broken Arrow 49-yard line. Trips bunched right, a couple of tight ends in there. One receiver split left. That's Williams. Here's the snap. Another flag comes flying in, and there's a false start against Westmoore. Boy, there is no rhythm to this game early on, Spav.
No.
I mean, that's 4 flags we've seen, and there's still 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
I know. You know, I think they're outthinking themselves, especially Westmoore right now.
I was going to say, both teams.
Yeah. Because they're not doing things that they have been doing, you know, by wide trading and then motioning. They haven't done that before.
The sun is just barely still peeking up over the horizon, but we're pretty much at dusk now here in Moore, Oklahoma. A handoff over the right side, and a gain of about 3 yards for Brandon Arnold, who's gang tackled at the 48-yard line of Westmoore. Brings up 2nd down and 13.
Yeah, this back here, he does a good job because he just runs where there's an opening. He has a pretty good instinct to him.
Arnold's carried the ball 4 times now for 10 yards in the game. Came into the contest with 70 carries. That's 7 times more than the next most carries on the team. He's averaging 6.6 yards a carry, so he's been a solid back so far this year.
Right.
3 touchdowns on the year as well. Here's 2nd down and 13. Ball on the right hash. Takes the snap. Johnson fakes the handoff. Boots near side. The throw was low. A diving attempt made for it by Zane Chavez, but he couldn't get down to it. It brings up 3rd down and 13. That's the 2nd time we've seen Johnson short arm a throw.
I know, and this is what he does. He does well, supposedly, is the bootleg. He's not really a drop back quarterback. He has to get out on the perimeter.
Is that something as a lefty, he's booting to his strong side coming to the near side? Is that something you have to work on defensively during the week?
I think a lot of it is the route was real slow, getting there, not where it needs to be, because that has to be in your read, that drag from backside, but it was just too slow. And throwing across your body is not the answer.
3rd down and 13 now. A whistle and a timeout.
That's 2 timeouts.
Lorenzo Williams, the head coach, was not happy with having to use that timeout, but he took it anyway. With 4 minutes and change, 3:44 remaining here in the first quarter. Broken Arrow leads 3-0. We'll take a break. Back with more in just a moment. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Finding your happy place is something special and different for everyone. You probably already know where to find yours, and TTCU Federal Credit Union can help you get there. Talk with our team. We'll give you the tools to build the financial future you want. So wherever your happy place finds you, TTCU will meet you there. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome back to Moore, Oklahoma. We'll go down to Madison Dildine on the sideline, who I think might be getting hungry for some popcorn or something. She was talking to us during the break. Said a snack sounded pretty good. 3rd down and 13, though, coming up for the Westmoore Jaguars. The Tigers had them stopped at one point. A penalty kept the drive alive. We'll see if they can get another stop here. Empty set. They want to throw the screen to the near side. It's nearly intercepted. Federhoff was in the area for the Tigers. He couldn't quite haul it in, but it was very well read by Trey Federhoff on the screen. That brings up 4th down and 13.
Well, that goes to what I was telling you before. If you can't throw vertical, your screens are not going to be effective. And they've tried 2 screens so far, and they're not productive.
The Tigers have sniffed things out defensively so far. Westmoore is only averaging 1.4 yards per play. The snap is back for the punt. It's dropped, but he was able to get it away. It's not a great kick. Hits at the 36-yard line of Broken Arrow and takes a Jaguar bounce inside the 30. It'll roll dead around the 28-yard line. But that was a scary moment there for the punter, who is wearing a number that is not on the roster. So I'm not entirely sure who that is. It's not Jackson Lee. He's wearing his actual number. Yeah, that could be about anybody.
Yeah.
He's wearing 94. There's no 84. There's no 64. So your guess is as good as ours, folks. Tigers had the ball leading 3-0. 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. A little rollout to the right. A drag pass dropped off underneath. It's caught out to about the 31-yard line. That was Will Hyde on the catch. That was actually pretty well covered.
Yeah, that linebacker had it all the way.
It's a good throw from Stieber. He didn't have a lot of room for error right there. I mean, it didn't go for a long distance, but he dropped it in.
It kind of surprised me there. I mean, him being covered.
2nd and 7, a handoff to Jones, trying the left side and out of the shotgun formation. He dropped the football, and Westmoore has it at the 33-yard line. A quick turnover after the punt, and Westmoore again right back with the football, and now a quick change for this defense. Madison Dildine was down on the sideline trying to figure out if she could get a beat on what the defense was talking about. Madison, they didn't have much time to chat down there. Did you catch anything?
Yeah, they said this isn't anything that we haven't seen. We're doing everything that we need to do. We just need to remain disciplined, guys.
Thank you very much, Madison. Hard to argue with that. The discipline on the last drive was what allowed Westmoore to get that first down, but now they're out there with the challenge of a quick change facing.
But I think they're right. About the only thing I think they haven't seen, or maybe they have, I haven't, is the wide trade when they're trading the receivers and stuff to the other side.
1st and 10 now from the Tiger 34-yard line from Westmoore. Here's the snap. They hand it off over the right side. Arnold is crushed and knocked down at the 32-yard line. There have been some big hits from the Tiger defense. I think that was Jalen Franklin coming up again. No, it wasn't. It was R.J. Spears-Jennings.
Golly, I thought it was Franklin too.
We heard from Coach Blankenship that Spears-Jennings is going to be spending some time on the defensive side of the ball this week, and welcome to defense,
see why,
sir.
yeah.
Well, he's committed to play safety at Oklahoma, so it's not like it's a surprise that he can play defense.
No, he's just an athlete. He has an instinct to the game.
He's playing safety right now. 2nd down and 7 from the Broken Arrow 31. Westmoore hands it off on the counter right side. Arnold makes one-man miss, trying to get to the outside. Dragged down from behind by Dietrich Moore. It's a gain of about 3 or 4 yards down to the 28-yard line. 3rd and manageable coming up here for Westmoore.
That was a good run. They're running a split zone. This time that we forced the running back to surf back to the back. And he just bounced it outside and made some good yardage there. So it's 3rd and 4. It's pretty manageable.
Some personnel changes here for Westmoore. Arnold tried to come off, and now they send him back onto the field. Split left will be Kevion Williams. Actually, they get a couple of guys split left. Now sprinting off the field comes the backup tight end, Zielny. 3rd down and 4. Trips left. Here's the snap. It came a little bit early, it looks like. Scrambling to his left is Johnson. Tries to turn the corner. He's tripped up, but he's able to bounce forward down to the 25-yard line. Just inside the 25, but not quite to the 24, which was the line to gain. It's 4th down and inches for Westmoore.
I thought the left tackle was moving. He kind of turned around.
That whole, from when they broke the huddle, looked discombobulated.
Right, I know. Well, obviously this is 4th down territory. You know, I mean, they had 4 yards to
Simpkins
2
splits
downs to
right.
get 4 yards.
Bunch of tight ends left side. ISO set. Here's the snap. They fake the handoff. No, they give it on the counter right side. Arnold trying to power his way towards the 1st down marker. It's close. I'm not sure he got there, Spav. He's pushed backwards, and right now they've got him marked him just inside the 25. I think where they're standing right now, that's going to be short of the 1st down.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about the spot, but I'm glad.
They might get the chains out and measure him. They're looking over to the far side.
It just seemed like he went forward a little bit more.
Well, it took a long time for that play to develop on the backside there, that split zone. And while we have a moment, because they're going to bring the chains out and measure, when you say split zone, what are the linemen doing in that situation?
Well, what's happening in a split zone is, say the line is blocking right, and your fullback is kicking the end man on the line of scrimmage left.
Okay.
And so your back surfs.
It is just short, and the Tigers will get the football. They come up with the stop on 4th down.
Your back is running right, and he can surf. He can surf the line and go back towards where the back
So essentially, that fullback is keeping that backside defensive end from crashing down on the zone.
Right.
And in theory, it opens up a hole in there somewhere.
And it gives a man-on-man attack with your lineman, and therefore your back can just find out where he needs to go.
It's always good to learn football from Steve Spavital. 1st and 10, Broken Arrow from the 25. They turned it over last time. Dump pass to Jones on the left side. He's got room to work across the 35-yard line. It's a foot race up the far sideline, across midfield, and drugged down by the shoulder pads in Westmoore territory. They mark him out at the 40-yard line. Excellent play on 1st and 10.
God, that's perfect. Just a little flare screen there.
And I like going right back to Jones after he made the mistake, put the ball on the ground. You show your faith in him and give him the ball right back. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Jones again over the right side this time. Bounces outside off of a man, and he's got room inside the 30. Now the 25, looking for help. Stumbles down, now gets knocked forward inside the 20-yard line. Brought down at the 18. The Tigers are back in the red zone, leading 3-0 with less than 30 seconds to play before the end of the first quarter.
There we go. This is awesome.
Tempo again. 2 receivers right, trips left on an empty set for Stieber. He takes the snap. No, he doesn't. He's clapped for the ball. Everyone moved except for the center. Evan Robinson either didn't hear the clap or thought it was on too. 21 seconds to play before halftime, and Spav, Broken Arrow got inside the 10 on its first drive and then stalled out there. This is that spot where the Tigers need to go and finish a drive.
That's exactly right. You need to create, when you get in the red zone, you got to have 3.5 points per trip.
They got 3 out of the first one. Ooh, a swing pass to the left side was nearly intercepted. Jones catches it again, but not a lot of room to work this time. It was a similar play to the first one of the drive, but this one, it was to the open side of the field instead of the boundary, and the defense nearly snuck in there and took it away.
Well, the thing here is the defense is restricted, and so is your vertical routes. So a lot of times what you need to do is you need to focus on trying to run the ball. Get a draw in here, do something, misdirection, counter. Things that will help you.
That is the end of the first quarter. Broken Arrow leading 3-0. We'll take a break. This is Tiger Football on ArrowVision.
Just a reminder, there will come a time when they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true. Right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Welcome back to Moore, Oklahoma. I'm Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine is on the sidelines for us this evening. And Broken Arrow leads 3-0 through a quarter of play. Spav, it wasn't a fast start per se, but the Tigers are currently out in front and are threatening here if they can go and finish this drive.
That's right. Well, we've dominated this first quarter, obviously. You know, what little yards they have, you know, some of it is just created by our penalties, for them to be able to add on a fumble, little things like that. Typically, we should have a lot more points than 3. We should really be putting some touchdowns on the board here. We can't change our thinking when we go in the red zone. We have to be able to attack them with what got us there in a lot of cases. We need to run the football in the red zone.
One concern and something to keep an eye on, and maybe it's knocking off some rust after the bye week, but the Tigers put the ball on the ground twice in that first quarter. They only lost one of them, but it hit the turf a couple of times.
Yeah, but if you think about it, you know, if you win the turnover battle, I told you you're going to win 70% of the time. Well, we're -1 right now.
And fortunately still in the lead. Now, can the defense create some turnovers at some point down the stretch here? That remains to be seen.
That's right. That's what we need. We need to develop the turnover. You know, not just the normal turnovers that happen. We need to create the turnovers, like I've said before.
Second down and 14, Broken Arrow now moving right to left. That is west to east. At the Westmoore 22-yard line. Big run, hole up the middle for Griffin Stieber, getting chased from behind. He breaks through the tackle and he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Broken Arrow. Griffin Stieber straight up the gut. He carries it in for the second time this year.
That was awesome, that a baby.
That is only the second rushing touchdown for the Tigers this season, both of them from Griffin Stieber. That one was a little more impressive. I think the first one was a quarterback sneak, if I remember correctly. It was like second and goal from the one. That one, he took it in from a little further out.
That was just great. That was a great play call. You know, you're expecting some other things, and then he comes up the middle with a lead.
Point after attempt on its way, and it's good. 10-0 Broken Arrow with 11:53 to play in the second quarter. We will take a break. You're tuned in to Tiger Football here on ArrowVision.
Finding your happy place is something special and different for everyone. You probably already know where to find yours, and TTCU Federal Credit Union can help you get there. Talk with our team. We'll give you the tools to build the financial future you want. So wherever your happy place finds you, TTCU will meet you there. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Back here in Moore, Oklahoma, Adam Hildebrandt, Coach Steve Spavital, Madison Dildine bringing you the action this evening. Norman just to our south. I see what I presume are lights on the campus of the University of Oklahoma just a little ways down the road. You got the Oklahoma City skyline over our right shoulder, and right now the setting sun just painting a little bit of a light blue and orange fade over the western horizon. The lights are shining bright here at Moore Stadium. All three of the Moore high schools compete on this field. Soccer competes here as well. But right now, the hometown Jaguars are trailing Broken Arrow 10-0. The Tigers, Spav, able to put together a nice drive. 4 plays, 75 yards in just 56 seconds, and the tempo was able to get them down there pretty quickly.
That. I like the tempo. Coach Blankenship does a great job with the tempo. And by doing that, it just allows them, not time to figure out what you're doing and not adjusting to your formations.
Talked about Griffin Steve. We're trying to refine a rhythm. 6 for 7 for 66 yards so far. And then he just had that long touchdown run.
Right. I like the fact that we're using a quarterback in the run game.
Hunter Martins boots this one away. It's short, end over end. Caught at the 16-yard line and dropped. He goes back to pick it up with the left hand, trying to run over the right side and knocked sideways out of bounds around the 18-yard line. They'll mark him at the 19, which I think is the right call. He got kind of knocked backwards out of bounds.
Yeah, he was airborne.
Sterling Ramsey came up and made the hit. 1st and 10 Westmoore from its own 19-yard line.
They do a lot of these tight squeeze formations, so, it's difficult to blitz these formations because every one of them's a run formation.
They've got 2 receivers right, 1 left, moving left to right, tight end left as well. It's a shotgun formation. Shaheem Johnson, check that. And it looks like Jacob Blyce in the backfield now. Here's the snap. They fake the handoff, and now running it up the middle was Zane Chavez.
Fumble.
And it's the ball may be loose at the 21-yard line. Moore may have ripped it out, but it looks like Westmoore got back on it. That was Zane Chavez in the game. He's listed as a starting tight end, but was in either as a backup quarterback or in the Wildcat. We're not sure which. This is a developing story because Jacob Blyce is listed as the backup quarterback.
I know. But what a great play by Dietrich Moore. When I talk about you need to create turnovers, that's exactly what he tried to do. He ripped it out of the kid's hands. Unfortunately, one of their linemen recovered it, but that's what we got to do. We got to have that mentality.
Shaheem Johnson is back in the game at quarterback. He's under center in an ace formation. Looked like they didn't quite get set. Reverse toss to the near side. Broken Arrow has it sniffed out back at the 10-yard line, but he breaks a tackle, gets out to the 20. That was Kevion Williams. Williams was dead to rights back at about the 12-yard line, was able to somehow get around that would-be tackler. He still lost a couple back to the 19. It's 3rd and 10.
Well, you knew something was up because the guy that ended up running the football was confused, or he's
It looked like he hit false started, to be honest.
I mean, all eyes went to him.
That's not what you want. When you're getting the ball on a trick play, you do not want everyone to be paying attention to
There needs to be an element of surprise.
2 receivers left on 3rd down and 10. Another good chance for the Tigers to get off the field defensively. No, trips to the left side on the wide side of the field. Johnson wants to throw it. He's in the pocket, slings it over the near side. It's caught at the 26-yard line. 1st down yardage across the 30 and spun out of bounds at around the 32-yard line. On the stop was Taylor Griffin, the 5'9" junior. It does move the chains on 1st and 10.
Yeah, just a nice little pass there in the flat there. He had good protection. He had good protection. That's what happened.
Probably the best protection he's had.
Yeah.
The bad news is the Jaguars are 2 for 4 on 3rd down now. 1st and 10. Hand off to the right side. That's Arnold. Runs over his own blocker. He's brought down at the 35-yard line and gave him a gain of 3. Brings up 2nd down and 7.
But, their formations are dictating us on defense what we need to do. We're having 4 down linemen, which typically we use 3. So we're using 4 just because they're having an extra tight end in the game. So that's forcing us to put in another lineman.
2nd and 7, 2 receivers right, 1 left, tight end left, motion from right to left. They fake the handoff, sprinting left, a lob out to the far side, and it is intercepted by Spears Jennings up the far sideline to the 30. Got a blocker in front, cuts to his right, inside the 20, to the 10, 5, touchdown, Broken Arrow. R.J. Spears Jennings on the pick 6, and the Tigers lead 16-0.
Boy, he just threw that up.
Oh.
A lot of pressure on him. He was hit, and he just tossed it up.
There are very few jump balls like that Spears Jennings is not going to win.
If you're going to just throw the ball up, don't throw it in that direction.
Nope. Unless you're Griffin Stieber, in which case absolutely do throw it in that direction.
Yeah, exactly.
16-0 Tigers with 10 minutes to play in the second quarter. Field goal kicking unit was missing a man. They brought him onto the field. Hunter Martins, 2 for 2 so far tonight. Snap back, ball down, kick on its way. It's plenty high and long enough. And he missed it right.
Good.
I believe, it's his first PAT miss of the year. He's 12 for 13.
That's right.
So the score remains 16-0. It is still technically a 2-possession game here at Westmoore. We will take a break. Tigers lead it with 10 minutes to go in the second. This is Broken Arrow football on ArrowVision.
Just a reminder, there will come a time when they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true. Right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Back here in Moore, Oklahoma, Adam Hildebrandt, Steve Spavital, Madison Dildine with you. Let's actually go down to the sideline, and I apologize for not much of an advance warning, Madison. But Madison, what's the vibe you're getting now after that pick 6 down on that far sideline?
Even from the beginning of this game, this team is happy. They're excited and focused, but it feels refreshed down here from last game. Guys,
I'll buy that.
Yes.
I would think just a week Spav at home without having to go somewhere might have been refreshing.
Right,
You get the bye week and you finally didn't have to go somewhere else and play football.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love what we're doing. We're getting turnovers, which is something I really felt like we needed. We need to focus on our 3rd down conversions, which, of course, we hadn't really had those situations, but we have been doing a great job in the red zone. These are things that we need to do. We're opening up the passing game a little bit more. Then the quarterback run game. So I'm really pleased with what we're doing so far.
16-0 Tigers, 10 minutes to play in the second quarter. Again, not a lot of rhythm to this game so far. It's been kind of a plodding, slow game. The clock hasn't run very often.
Absolutely.
The kick is away. It's high and short. Caught at the 16-yard line, up the near hash to the 30, bouncing off a tackler and spun forward. On the return that time was Xavier Ware. And on the tackle for the Tigers that time was Sterling Ramsey. He's made the last 2 stops on kick returns.
We need to be careful on this kickoff because I've seen them run them back for a touchdown. We just got to be careful. Giving a little bit too much field position right now.
1st and 10 from the 37. 2 receivers left, ace formation. They hand it off straight up the middle. Boy, a hard run right up the gut. Results in about 2 yards out to the 39-yard line. I mean, on the tackle that time was Julius McVeigh. On the carry was Andre Williams. It looked like he was shot out of a cannon into the line of scrimmage.
I know. Well, obviously they're running the ace formation, 2 tight ends, and that balances up the defense, so they're able to pick and choose where they need to run the football, and we're doing a great job with it. controlling the line of scrimmage. I think that's so important.
We have a whistle and a stoppage. The scoreboard has gone dead over the left side. And that scoreboard is where the main clock is kept. And right now, we've got 9:27 here in the second quarter. And the stoppage will put a brief pause on things. My question is, well, the back judge will have the timing if necessary.
Yes.
But we could be going old school here. We might be in a situation where there is just no clock on the field.
Right.
That's real old school.
Yeah.
We're going back to the leather helmet days if
I
there's
know.
no clock to be seen anywhere.
I don't know why this little one must not work either.
You know, those
See,
those big video boards are finicky. You get one wire that goes wrong, and it can cause real problems.
Well, that's why in our scoreboard we went with the analog, or not. I'm sorry, not analog, but just a separate scoreboard.
It's got the
underneath
video
the
board, but
scoreboard.
then there's
Yeah.
the actual scoreboard.
Because a lot of it is because when you have an 8th grade or 9th grade game, you want another scoreboard. You don't want to bring up the video board.
Scoreboard is still dark to our left. The word more is on and illuminated up above the scoreboard itself, so there is power running to it. We'll see how long the officials.
Oh, they're using the little one down here. See.
Nope, yep, now they got the little one fired up. Although they're going to have to make some changes. Right now it says 14-0 with 1:05 remaining. None of that is accurate.
Yeah, that's probably what they use for their junior high and JV games is this one over here.
All right, now it's 9:25 to play in the quarter. That's close to accurate. Still needing a couple of points up there for the Tigers, though. 16-0 the current score here in the second quarter.
Close enough, huh? We got 9:27.
Hopefully those 2 points won't matter.
Yeah. What is that? Oh, that's the
play clock. Both play clocks are still on and have been throughout the course of the game. So, and they were still on as that last play was getting ready to be run. It makes me a little nervous because the next step is one of the banks of lights going out.
right.
Trying to play football in the dark. Westmoore huddled up on the near side. The Tigers huddled around the chains on the far side. Nobody step on the chain over there. We don't need a cleat getting caught in the chain gang and getting tripped up. The current score is now, according to the scoreboard, Westmoore 22, Broken Arrow 0. So we're still hitting some buttons and trying to get some things figured out here, but I think we're about ready to get back to football. The play clock is set. The clock is ready to run, and we're back to playing. Pitch to the right side to Arnold on 2nd down and 8. He's knocked sideways at the 32-yard line. He briefly had a little gap.
He did. He had the tunnel, or the funnel in there, but we closed it really quick.
Trey Federhoff leading the way on the tackle. A couple of other guys in there as well. This SPAV has become a defense. It was so riddled by injury last year.
Yes.
That a lot of young guys ended up playing.
Right.
This is a deep side of the football right now for Broken Arrow.
Correct. Now we're back with the 3-down lineman. Obviously it's the down and distance.
3rd down and 6. A pass over the near side. It's caught in Broken Arrow Tiger territory. Knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Pushing him out at the end of the play was Buddy Mack. On the catch that time was Jalen Hardison. And that moves the ball into Broken Arrow territory, 1st and 10. The Tigers still leading the game 16-0. 8:44 to play in the first half.
Yeah, Hardison is one of their top receivers too, and they did a good job just throwing the out route there. We had a lot of pressure on him.
Hardison and Kevion Williams were each tied for the team lead with 10 catches coming into the game. Here's the snap. They want to throw it again. Dump pass to the far side. It's incomplete. Pressure came straight up the middle that time from Mitchell Banning, who was able to knock down the quarterback. Makes it 2nd and 10 as Johnson wasn't able to. He was able to get the ball away, but not in time to throw an accurate pass.
I know, but this is what we're going to do to him is that we're going to make him make a poor decision, like you did the last time you threw the interception.
Well, and he's shown that the accuracy is okay if he can sit and set in the pocket, but if he has to move at all, he's not been able to throw an accurate ball. So if you can keep getting pressure on him, he's going to end up throwing a couple of other dangerous ones.
That's right.
Shaheem Johnson under center this time, fakes the handoff, rolls it, now throws it back to the near side. They were trying to set up the screen, but he had no time to try to get it set up. It's incomplete. Javion Franklin on the coverage that time.
Well, they were counting on having, we sent a lot of pressure on them at this time. So that's why they're trying to develop the screen. But, again, screens are tough if you can't throw the ball deep.
Johnson's 3 for 9 for 31 yards and an interception. And he's now facing 3rd and 10 against a Broken Arrow defense that's gotten pressure on him twice in the last 2 plays.
And it looks like we're coming again. We're man up top, so it looks like we're coming again.
Motion into the backfield. Here's the snap.
There we go.
Wants to throw it left, quick over the middle. It's incomplete. It looked like he was trying to find Hardison that time, and immediately the coverage was there.
He had to throw fast because we had a linebacker come untouched. He came through untouched.
That's never what you want to see as a quarterback.
No, he had to throw immediately.
4th down and 10, and the punt team is on the field. Again, we have a mystery punter. He's wearing 94. We don't have any idea who that is. It's not on the roster. We know it's not the kicker, Jackson Lee.
Right.
That is about as accurate as we can be for you, unfortunately.
Yeah, we just say number 94 punting.
Maybe Skip Hyde, our expert stat guy, got a secret note passed to him or something that would help him figure out who that is. Wow, that is an excellent punt. Trying the coffin corner, it carried into the end zone. That was a good kick.
That was a one-stepper, too.
Yeah.
He grabbed it and punted it just right off the bat.
It does go into the end zone, though, and therefore the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 on their own 20. 9:25 to play here in the second quarter. Excuse me, 8:24 to play in the second quarter. The scoreboard to our right is the one that's accurate. The video board on the left is back up and running, but the clock doesn't appear to be working on it. That is Isaiah Hidalgo, according to the stat feed, that punted that ball.
Really?
So I'm going to guess that old Skip found out for us and is able to feed it through the computer to us. It's good to have that guy around.
Well, here we're unbalanced.
Bad
again.
snap. It's on the floor, somehow scooped up, and now Stieber trying to break 8 tackles or so. He's finally bottled up, and it's going to be a loss of 2 back to the 18-yard line. He was just bouncing around like a pinball there. Wasn't able to get back to the line of scrimmage. It brings up 2nd down and 12.
We're running that unbalanced formation. I love that formation, by the way, but there you go.
Flag comes in. We got offside on Westmoore, so that'll move it 5 yards to the good for the Tigers. Brings up 2nd down and 7 now. That's convenient. After losing a couple yards, able to turn that as effectively into a 3-yard gain. Second and 7 now. 2 running backs to the right. Stieber takes it himself, trying to cut it back. Gets across the 25-yard line and falls forward out to around the 27. A gain of about 4 brings up 3rd down and 3.
Looked like a little miscommunication there.
Had he handed the ball off, it looked like Jones would have had a lot of space on that near side. Trips right on the wide side of the field on 3rd down and 3.
Unbalanced.
Stieber takes a snap, hands it off to Jones, has to break a tackle in the backfield, but now he's got some room to work across the 35, breaking tackles. Now out near the 40-yard line, he's shoved over sideways. They give him about the 38.5. It's well enough for a 1st down and a strong run from Nate Jones, who got hit in the backfield.
Absolutely. They're running that unbalanced formation I like. I just really like that formation because it's so hard to line up to.
That's the first 3rd down conversion of the game for the Tigers. 1st and 10 now from the 38. Deep pass up the right side, looking for the target. It's incomplete. I believe that was Marion Horn perhaps with the far side, unless Spears Jennings changed gloves. It was Marion Horn at the far sideline, laid out for it, got a hand on it, just couldn't quite bring it in. It brings up 2nd down and 10.
God, he almost had it too.
Pretty good throw. I mean,
It
that
was a
all
great
in all
throw.
A nice effort, just not quite there. Stever takes the snap on 2nd and 10. Same thing, looking for Spears Jennings this time. He's behind the defense, and he makes the catch at the 23, shoved backwards and out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
I love it going back to the same play.
Ooh, they marked
Love
him out
it.
at the 17.
Ooh.
Still a big gain for the Tigers. It brings up 1st down and 10 from the 17-yard line, and the Tigers moving with pace. 2 receivers right, 3 left, empty backfield, a whistle, and a flag from the head linesman. Did the Tigers not get lined up, or was somebody in the neutral zone for the defense? If they stopped the play, I would think it was the Tigers. Offsides against Broken Arrow. Somebody lined up too far forward.
It'd have to be a receiver. I couldn't. See.
Now, the bummer about that is the point of pushing the pace there was to keep pressure on the defense. Now you gave them just a second to reset a little bit.
Right.
2 receivers left, tight end left on 1st down and 15. Boy, it looks from our angle like they moved the sticks back a long way.
No.
And it looks like 6 yards. Here's the snap. Quick throw over the middle. A little behind Spears Jennings. He's hit hard and knocked down. Incomplete. Check that. It was Marion Horn on the attempted catch.
Yeah, he's there. We just need to get the ball to him.
Boy, how'd you like to be that corner? I just chased Marion Horn for 40 yards. It was incomplete. Oh, now here comes R.J. Spears Jennings. Let me chase him for 40
Same
yards.
Play, yeah.
Oh, well, they caught it. Now they're running Horn back in the game. That's a tough assignment over there.
Yeah.
It's Horn in the game, split right.
Yep.
Fox split left. Here's the snap, 2nd and 15. Stever taking it himself over the right side. He got a little room to work. Cut down inside the 20-yard line. They give him the 16. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 8 here for Broken Arrow. Leading 16-0 with 6.5 to play before halftime.
I'd like to see that. That's a little quarterback counter. So we're really focusing in on the quarterback run game. I mean, actually giving plays for the quarterback to run.
It has not been perfect, but the offensive execution has been better in this game than we've seen the last couple of weeks.
God,
You got movement up front again.
I know. Coach Blankenship's the master.
Question.
Both father and son are the master of this freeze count.
Yeah, Bill got the Tigers a couple of times up in Owasso.
He's the master of it.
That brings up 3rd down and about 3. And the Tigers now will huddle. We've seen them go tempo, no huddle, and just sprint to the line of scrimmage.
Right,
now a huddle and a late huddle.
Well, because you don't know how we're going to line up.
2 tight ends right, 1 left. Here's the snap. Stever takes it himself on the quarterback run over the left guard. Stumbling forward inside the 10-yard line. Brought down at the 8. He's a yard shy of the 1st down. And now a question mark for Josh Blankenship.
See, what they're doing, they're about 2-3 yards off the line of scrimmage, and they're on that little muddle huddle. The receivers are already lined up. But now when they sprint to the line of scrimmage, just like they're doing now, you have no idea where they're going to be.
Under center goes Griffin Stever. Quarterback sneaks straight up the middle. They mark him inside at the 5-yard line. That'll be plenty enough for the 1st down. And it brings up 1st down and goal. Quick, decisive decision from Coach Blankenship there.
Yeah.
And good execution up front offensively.
I like that little muddle huddle because that's hard to line up to.
This time the offense lining up without the huddle. 2 receivers right, 2 left, a tight end right. It's an empty set for Stever. Now motion into the backfield from Horn. They tried to give it to him on the jet sweep, but it was a bad exchange, and it's picked up by Westmoore, sprinting up the near sideline. A long run for D'Angelo Shanks. Marion Horn chases him down at midfield, but another turnover gives Westmoore the football back in Broken Arrow territory at the 49-yard line.
Oh, man, what a good drive we had going.
That execution in the red zone has come up short a couple of times today.
That's right.
Broken Arrow now just 1 for 3 in red zone opportunities today. And now they've lost 2 fumbles. So 1 for 3 or 2 for 4?
Are we still +0 in the turnover margin?
I think it's -1 again now.
-1?
Yep.
Gosh.
Ball, again, will be placed at the Broken Arrow 49-yard line. Broken Arrow, now just 1 for 3 and no touchdowns from inside the red zone tonight.
Wow. Yeah, that's not good. We need to really work on that.
Well, the defense is going to have a chance to come up with a stop on a short change again.
But, when you have that week off, sometimes your timing is not where it needs to be. And we just got to get back in game mode.
Yeah, that was what is generally a pretty straightforward exchange. It's just a catch and the little shovel pass straight to the guy on the jet sweep.
Right.
Or the handoff.
Oh, that's
just wasn't done
that's
cleanly
basic
there.
football.
1st and 10 Westmoore from the Broken Arrow 49-yard line. Now the defense has come up big and gotten some stops in a couple of situations where they've worked against short fields. Can they do it again here? Broken Arrow is out gaining Westmoore 208 to 58 in this game.
Yeah, I mean it's our game. We just need to quit turning the ball over.
Trips left on the wide side of the field. Here's the snap, handoff left side. That's Arnold bouncing off a tackler inside the 45-yard line, and he's got room around the corner at the 40, inside the 30, and he steps out of bounds at around the 27-yard line. A very good run over the left side for Brandon Arnold. The longest play of the game for Westmoore to this point.
Wow.
Credit Marion Horn, by the way, for running down D'Angelo Shanks. He kind of broke out of that pile and was all alone. It was like, uh-oh.
He's done that before this year too, and you just gotta really love his effort. Good job,
chains
holding.
have not moved yet. Am I missing
Well,
a flag
got a
or something?
call. Holding.
Oh, I was missing a flag. Boy, that's a big holding call. It happened at the 38-yard line of the Tigers, so 11 yards up the field. That means it was probably a receiver on that far side. That moves it all the way back to the Tiger 48. It'll be 1st down and 9. Boy, that negates a big play
huge
for Westmoore. Both teams offensively have kind of shot themselves in the foot sometimes.
That's right.
1st and 9. Don't get to say that very often. Trips right this time. They flip the formation with the ball on the left side instead. Hand off to Arnold. He cuts this one up the middle. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Wrapped up, pushed backwards. The ball came free at midfield, and the Tigers may be on it, waiting for the signal. The Tigers came up with a football, but are they going to mark him down? I have not seen a signal yet pointing towards Broken Arrow.
He's just moving the ball around.
The officials are talking things over at midfield, but we don't have a signal yet. And the Tiger defense has come back out to the field. I think they're going to say Arnold was down. It's marked at the 49-yard line. They'll say Arnold was down. It does bring up 2nd down and 10, but an unfortunate break for the Tiger defense.
Right.
That would have evened up the turnover battle.
Exactly. We need that.
2nd and 10 from the Broken Arrow 49. We've said this several times, but again, no rhythm to this game. You had the long run brought back by a penalty. You had the Tigers about to score. The turnover prevents that. There you thought the Tigers had forced a turnover, and it doesn't happen. Trips right, 1 receiver left. Play clock down to 1. They're able to get it off. Throw over the middle, and it is incomplete. It was, I think, too long for the intended target, Zane Chavez.
Yeah, just overthrew him.
Spears Jennings came flying over but couldn't quite get to it. It brings up 3rd down and 10.
There we go. See, we're dominating defensively. I mean, we're forcing him to throw. He overthrew it because we've got a lot of pressure on him. And he's getting a little gun shy back there.
Now, part of the problem for Broken Arrow is Westmore's 3 for 6 on 3rd downs, and they're 2 for 4 on 3rd down and long, 3rd down and 9 or more.
Right.
So they're 50% even on 3rd and long. This one's 3rd and 10.
Yes.
Trips right. Here's the snap. Johnson wants to throw. Looking over the left side. It is intercepted by the Tigers. He's not. Oh, and the ball came free. It's scooped up along the far sideline.
And they got the ball back.
I think he's out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Oh, no, they're giving it to them.
Intercepted by Dietrich Moore.
Oh, they're saying he was down?
And then he was down. at the 42-yard line. Holy cow. Or maybe he fumbled it out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That's about where it went out of bounds, too.
That was cool.
In any case, the Tigers get the football back on the interception from Dietrich Moore. It's his team-leading second pick of the year.
I know. I didn't want him to lose that. It was such a great, great interception. I didn't want him to lose that thing.
That ball wasn't as wobbly as
he was
the
hit by our
first
own
one,
guy.
but he was more well covered. Yeah, who came up and hit him? I don't know. Somebody came flying up there and actually ran into the back of Moore.
Made him fumble.
I think he was trying to go block for him.
Yeah.
So the Tigers back with it with 4:06 to play before halftime.
Good
Stever,
time.
a zip throw up the right side. It's nearly intercepted. Not enough air into that one. Again, looking for Marion Horn. Boy, clearly the coaching staff sees something, Spav, because that's the third time in the last 2 drives that they've run that play.
Yeah, it's that receiver over there.
And again, you run Horn off, and here comes that's actually Sterling Ramsey in the game now on the far side. 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line for Broken Arrow. Here's the snap. Steber wants to dump it off. The screen wasn't there. Now tucks it, and he wants to run it over the left side at the 45-yard line. Steps inside of a man. He's snagged by the ankle and spun around. A flag comes in late at the 49-yard line. Right now it's a gain of about 7 yards. Boy, that was a late flag. I'm not quite sure.
I wasn't sure what that is. Holding?
Maybe that's kind of where I was thinking it was holding, but that was a late flag to be a holding call.
It was.
Now the umpire is facing back in the direction of the Tigers. That's usually not a good sign. The flag is down at the 48-yard line. They'll mark it off from there. And it is a hold against Broken Arrow. Boy, they marked that back to the 37. That's an 11-yard penalty there.
Well,
but perhaps they were saying
we saw a 6-yard penalty too before.
So that brings up 2nd down and about 15 now for Broken Arrow. Trips right on the wide side of the field. One-on-one coverage on that outside receiver. The Tigers stand up and look over to the far sideline. Steber in the shotgun. Jones to his right, takes a snap, rolling to his right, dumps it off. It's deflected up in the air and incomplete. Intended that time for Sterling Ramsey. It brings up 3rd down and 15.
I tell you, if I was the coach, I would assign one of my assistants the yardage that they mark off on penalties, making sure they're accurate.
Horn split out right. Fox in the slot to the left side is Ramsey. Here's the snap. Steber dropping back, wants to throw, looking deep over the right side, fires it up the far sideline, and it's too far, incomplete. He was looking for Fox on the wheel route. It was pretty well covered. Brings up 4th down and long.
I like running the wheel. You know, sometimes we need to get the scissor out. Those scissors are really effective too.
The bad news, Spav, is that the Tigers are now just 1 for 4 on 3rd down. The good news is that's the first time they've been in a 3rd and long situation tonight, 3rd and 9 or more. They've done a good job staying ahead of the chains.
They really have. They've been really efficient on 1st down. And that's what you got to be.
The video board clock is back on track. It says 3:39 to play here in the 2nd quarter. We're nearly an hour and 15 minutes into this ball game.
I know.
Punt team is on the field. Snap back to Steber. Pressure up front. He's able to get the kick away. It's a wobbly kick, and it's fair caught at the 31-yard line. That's where Westmoore will start 1st and 10. The Tiger defense has stepped up to the challenge, pitching a shutout so far as Broken Arrow leads 16-0 with 3:36 to play before halftime.
You know, no one has been put in, in bad field position, if you think about it.
No, this game
you're driving the ball in the red zone. I'm just talking about your starting field position. No one's ever been backed up, inside the 10 anywhere. So it's been a wide open game here.
Also, according to the live stats, neither team has gone 3 and out so far in the game.
Right.
And it's not been a real high-scoring game. Here's the snap. They fake the handoff. That is Chavez, the tight end, in at quarterback, running it over the left side on kind of the quarterback power. He gets about 7 yards out to the 38-yard line, brings up 2nd down and 3.
That was a hard run. And that
Chavez is a good-sized kid, 6'1", 200.
Yeah, and he's that extra tight end that's off the line of scrimmage all the time. So
2 receivers split left. Chavez still in the game at quarterback. He's got Arnold to his left. Will they elect to have Chavez throw it at all is the question, or is this just going to be straight wildcat? Motion into the backfield. Here's the snap. They fake the handoff. Chavez pulls it. He's grabbed from the behind by the jersey and brought down. He still gained 2 yards out to the 40-yard line. It brings up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, it's going to be a yard short there. So they're just reading the stretch. They're running that jet sweep, and they're reading it. And they're pulling backside, and they're coming right back underneath it.
2.5 to play before halftime.
He's a tough runner too.
Chavez so far, 3 carries for 11 yards on the ground. 3rd down and 1. He's in the Wildcat again. Motion from right to left this time. They try the handoff on the jet sweep. He's spun around backwards and knocked down back inside the 35-yard line. They tried Xavier Simpkins on the jet sweep, and he was knocked backwards all the way back to the 33. It brings up 4th down and 8. 2:03 to play before halftime, and the Tigers will take a timeout.
Brought some pressure. Brought some good pressure on him there. So I guess they were anticipating. That could be a situation where they're anticipating that stretch, or some sort with their down a distance. But they picked it up really well.
Jadaean Floyd Wright gets the stop and the tackle for loss. The Tigers came into the game with 19 tackles for loss this season. That's something. Broken Arrow had only gotten 3 sacks coming into the game, but they've gotten some stops in the backfield over the course of those first 3 games of the season.
That's right. And that was crucial. I just like, these are some things we hadn't seen really all year, where we're putting a lot of pressure on them in certain situations and creating that minus yardage, and that's just huge in a lot of cases. But sometimes you live and die with it, but in this case, that's huge.
The punter is on, Isaiah Hidalgo. He's averaging 33.5 yards per punt, but he's got a long of 43. Back to receive is Dietrich Moore. Moore can make something happen if given a chance, certainly. Spread punt formation. It's a good snap. Tigers coming after it. The kick is away. It's a high, wobbly kick. Caught at the 33 by Moore. Makes one man miss. He gets hit but bounces off the tackle. Running to the near side across the 45. Now at midfield. Cuts inside of a man and he's knocked down from behind, but not before he got to the 41-yard line of Westmoore. An excellent return from Dietrich Moore.
That was huge, huge. I mean, look at our field position with 1:46 left. That's huge.
146, as Spav just mentioned. Ball in the 41. You don't have to go that far to get into field goal range. We'll see what the Tigers elect to do here. Split out on the near side.
But we
is
have
Marion Horn. No, check that. Horn's on the far side. That's Ramsey on the near side. Here's the snap on 1st and 10. Hand out to Jones. Big hole right up the middle across the 35-yard line. Sidesteps a man, and he's knocked down at the 29. A gain of 12 on the play on 1st and 10.
Tempo.
Tigers back to the line of scrimmage already. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Same exact formation on 1st and 10. And again, confusion on the snap. That's the second time the Tigers have tried to go tempo, and there's been miscommunication on the offensive line.
Yeah. God, we needed it. We didn't need that.
Again, every time it seems like either offense has started to get some momentum going, something has held them back. And it's been usually a self-inflicted mistake.
I know. And tempo is something you got to really work on. I mean,
same formation again on 1st and 15 now. Quick pass to the far side. Caught by Horn, spins off of a man, breaks the tackle. A flag is down. He's inside the 30. Now dragged down from behind at the 20-yard line. Still on his feet somehow.
And
he's down
run
at the 16-yard line.
Oh, my God.
That front receiver may get tagged for a holding at the 34-yard line, but the effort from Marion Horn in that run was immense.
Well, that was like 15 yards after contact. I mean, that's an unbelievable run.
Now, the Tigers started the drive with a 12-yard run from Nate Jones, and since have had 15 yards worth of penalties to put them essentially right back where they started.
I know exactly. We just can't have that stuff.
1st down and 25 from the 44-yard line. Trips left, a bunch set. Tight end left as well. Here's the snap. Hand off to Jones, straight at the middle. got by the first tackler, but then was hit and knocked down sideways at the 41-yard line. So a gain of 3 on the play. Will hustle back to the line. Now the 3 receivers split left. It's Ramsey wide left, Horn in the middle, and slot tightest to the and Fox tightest to the formation. Tight end left to Stieber. 18 seconds on the play clock, 50 on the game clock before halftime. Second down and long. Here's the snap. Stieber wants to take it himself over the middle. He is hit, spun sideways, and another flag comes in. He's brought down at the 31-yard line, so it's a gain of 10 on the play, but that's in the area of another hold.
Exactly. God, I just don't hate seeing that. I mean, we had the ball in great field position with a minute 46 or something left, wasn't it?
Well, then you get that.
How many timeouts we had? 2 timeouts?
2 timeouts.
Yeah, see, we had plenty of time.
Just 1 timeout, I believe, excuse me. No, it is 2 timeouts.
Yeah, 2.
Now it's, with 39 seconds, it's second down and 30 from the 49-yard line.
They need to give their coverage is a little tight with the corners.
Yeah, and look, there's single coverage on the near side with Sterling Ramsey. Here's a snap, delayed counter over the far side. Jones trying to get around the edge. He's bounced out of bounds at the 48-yard line after a gain of 1. Third down and forever now, and if they show that same coverage, I don't see why you don't at least just try a fade.
Try it.
Worst case scenario, they intercepted down the field and they got to go 80 yards in less than 30 seconds.
That's right.
There is single man coverage over the top. Ramsey split out wide near side. On the far side, it's Marion Horn. Just got to give Stieber enough time to launch it down the field. That is a deep safety. Stieber takes the snap, looking left, now looks back right, throws the hook on the far side. It's caught inside the 40-yard line, and Marion Horn steps out of bounds around the 36. 23 seconds to play before halftime. You're out of field goal range. So I guess you could punt it, but
no, you
might as well take a shot here.
Yeah. It's
pretty unlikely that the Jaguars are going to go 60-plus yards in about 2 plays.
Well, the way they're playing man-free, that lone safety doesn't know who to cover. I mean, who do you cover? Horn, or do you cover Jennings?
That's a pretty straightforward look-off for Stieber, right? I mean, you look to the guy you're not going to throw it to and then turn and throw it the other way. That's going to hold that safety long enough.
Oh, throw it to those. My cat's better than your cat, and I guarantee you we're going to go up and make the play. If you just throw it up, we're going to make plays because they're just so tremendous. They're so athletic at getting the ball in the air.
The question that I have is, because we've seen Stieber throw the ball around quite a bit, we've not seen him just huck one down the field. I mean, if he's throwing to a guy on the numbers on the left side and he needs to get it to the 10 or the 5-yard line, that's like a 60-yard throw by the time you get it across the field.
Right.
That's a long throw. Does he have that in his arsenal is the question.
I know. And, run the scissor route with that deep post. Those things are really effective as well, too.
One high safety, but there's 4 guys about 6 yards plus off the line of scrimmage on 4th down and 17 here for the Tigers. 23 seconds to play before halftime. Broken Arrow does lead 16-0. Jones moves to the right. Here's the snap. Stieber with a little time. Zings it at the left side looking for the wheel route. It's incomplete.
Nice, though.
They were looking for Fox. There's a lot of guys in coverage that time for Southmore.
They played it well. They played it well.
16-0 Broken Arrow, and Westmoore gets the ball back with 18 seconds to play before the half at their own 36-yard line. Will we see some kind of trickeration here?
But is their defense that good, or is it just us with our penalties and mistakes getting us in bad situations?
Certainly getting to 2nd and 30 didn't help.
No, but, that was us that did that, and it's hard to complete, a 4th and 20.
Victory formation on the field for Westmoore, looking to take a knee and take this into the locker room. And that is exactly what happens. Right now, 16-0 Broken Arrow through 1 half of play. We hope to hear from Madison Dildine and Coach Josh Blankenship on the sidelines if we can snag him
headed towards the locker room and kind of get his take on things. Not sure if she'll be able to track him down or not. In any case, Broken Arrow is leading 16-0. Oh, he's gone over to the other side, so to speak. Somebody jumped up and grabbed him, so we'll hope to hear from him post-game.
Yeah.
But that is okay. Good effort from Madison Dildine. In any case,
well, she was chasing him.
Absolutely, she was. Let's go down to the sideline. Madison, you had the effort there. Obviously, through 2 quarters of play, the Tigers leading 16-0. But what's the vibe you get as this Tiger team heads to the locker room?
Yeah, guys, like I said earlier, they are refreshed. The energy is high, and they're so excited to be playing football right now.
Leading 16-0 going to the break. Thank you very much, Madison. And we will take a break as well. We've got more coming up for you here at the halftime break. So stay tuned here on ArrowVision. Broken Arrow leads at 16-0. This is Tiger Football on ArrowVision.
Presenting the award from Geico.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists in surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Welcome back to Broken Arrow Tiger Football. This is Ken Ellett, and I'm very excited about our guest today. She is the head girls wrestling coach, Cassidy Jasperson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Well, this is the second year or third year?
Third year, going into year 3 right now.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit about last year. What a wonderful year you guys had.
It was an incredible year. 3 individual state champions, team state champions. It was officially sanctioned and recognized as a true OSSAA sport. So that was really important for the girls to get that recognition for all the hard work they put in, and they're finally getting recognized.
Well, let's talk about those 3 state champions. Who were they, and what are they doing now?
We had Olivia Brown at heavyweight, individual state champion, Kaisha Cathy at 185, and Allison Hines at 117. Olivia and Allison are both starting their collegiate wrestling careers. Allison is at Central Methodist University, and then Olivia is at Grandview University, which is in Iowa.
That is awesome. The team coming back, young, got some old ones, or what kind of team you got?
We have a pretty new group. We have some great leaders. I mean, Kaisha Cathy, individual state champion. She's really leading up the team. We have a couple older girls that are really growing into that mold of being captains, of being leaders, and kind of filling those positions that Olivia and Allison, they paved the way. They were wonderful leaders, and those girls are stepping up without missing a beat. And there are a lot of new ones, a lot of new young junior high girls. So we're very excited about the growth. We're excited about starting fresh with some new girls that have all the enthusiasm, and those older, more seasoned girls that have been through it and can kind of take charge and mentor those girls.
That's great. I know that this is the third year, you said. Been a lot of kind of learning as we go along. I know not only for the coaches and the kids, and it just kind of, but do you feel like you've kind of got a plan now exactly how you want to do most years or what you want to get done that year?
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, we're going into year 3. Year 1, it was, goodness, new coach, new program, new in Oklahoma, new kids, new culture. Everything about our program was new, and new about wrestling and girls wrestling in Oklahoma. And then second year, COVID hit, and that was just, we were trying to get as many matches as we could, just with the cards we were dealt. So really going to year 3, this feels like the first typical or normal season we've ever had. We're doing more of a traditional preseason where we're doing some heavy lifting, a lot of agility stuff, a lot of conditioning. Whereas before, we got on the mat pretty early because those girls were so new, and we needed to give them those skills and those techniques before we put them on the mat in that singlet. So taking more of a traditional approach this year, and it's been great. We've had a great preseason so far.
In a perfect world, when should a girl start wrestling? I mean, I'm assuming that occasionally you get somebody walk in as a high school student that's never wrestled before. How does that student do? I mean,
what's absolutely crazy is every girl, no matter if they're starting in high school or our little cubs that we have in the spring, summer, our cubs are 4, 5, 6 years old. In that positive environment, they all thrive. I mean, they truly grow at the same rate. They take to it, and I think it has to just do with the culture, the environment you're in. So absolutely, I think 4-year-olds, 5-year-old girls should be starting wrestling. But girls in high school absolutely should too. We're always taking new girls, always looking for girls that are even juniors or seniors to join our program and be part of something really big.
As you look at the state, obviously Broken Arrow is one of the best girls wrestling programs in the state. Who are some of the other schools that we need to concern ourselves with, be ready for in the future?
There are some bigger programs now that have really done some great recruiting, promoting their programs. Moore is growing rapidly. Moore, Oklahoma, they have full lineups. Salisal, their coach there, Daryl Hume, has always dove in to girls wrestling, promoted it, supported it. So they actually have consistently had a really big, smaller group, those junior high girls. He gets them very young, gets them interested. So he's done a really great job of doing that. Jay, over kind of on the eastern border, Isaac Wilson's done a great job. He coaches both programs, and he truly puts as much care into that girls program as he does the boys. And I really appreciate that about him. He's been an asset to growing the sport, I think. I don't think it's just Broken Arrow. I think we started this momentum, but other coaches have absolutely bought in. They're loving the girls wrestling. They're promoting it. And a lot of these coaches are coaching both the boys and girls programs. So that really amazes me even more that they're trying to grow that when they still have their boys programs to grow. So it's really big all around. But one thing I do tell my girls is we're not really competing to beat people in our state. We're competing to beat people across the nation. So we kind of always keep that in mind, that if you want to be the best, that has to be the expectation. Is these are just checkpoints to where we want to be, and we want to be nationally ranked consistently. That's the goal. That's the culture that we want to establish, the legacy we want to establish. So whenever we're having those grueling preseason workouts, it's, hey, don't think about if the school next door is doing this. Think about if those private schools, if those powerhouse schools across the nation are doing this. And so that's kind of what keeps our focus throughout these hard preseason practices.
I wanted to hit on one more thing because your facilities have really, in the last year or two, they've done a few things where they've set up a new wrestling room, a new weight room. It's really a great facility.
Absolutely. It's so much more functional. The mat space for the girls is unlike any I've ever seen. You just don't see schools with a huge girls wrestling exclusive mat room. And so we are incredibly lucky with the resources we have with the mat space. Switching the weight room and having it so close, brand new equipment, it's so functional. We go right across the hall to get our weight training. We have our mat space. We use the varsity center if we need to do some more agility stuff. All of the coaches, we really work together to make sure that we're utilizing all the space we can, and that we're communicating with each other. And so we are incredibly fortunate. I truly don't know of any schools or any colleges that have girls wrestling mat rooms with the space we have, the resources we have. So the girls understand that. We try to keep that in mind every day, respecting those facilities and really appreciating what we have, because not a lot of other schools, if any, have what we have.
Well, Coach, I appreciate so much the job you do, and thanks for taking the time to visit, and wish you all the luck.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Ellett. Hey Tiger football fans, I'm Madison Dildine, and we're here at Tiger Memorial Stadium about to go 100 yards with assistant head coach Jacquez Washington. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do it. Coach, you were an all-district running back and then named Class 6A Offensive Player of the Year coming out of Owasso in 2009. How does it feel to be back in the Tulsa area?
My family and I are excited to be back in Tulsa. Just had our first child, about 11 months old. And so it was an exciting time. We hadn't been back home in about 3 years. And, it's just awesome to be around family and get around Oklahoma football.
That's awesome. Following your time at Owasso, you played in the Big 12 at Iowa State for 4 years. What drove you to coaching?
I think just seeing something I had a passion about seeing kids and helping them achieve their goals on and off the field. And, it's something that Coach Blankenship always talks about here. It's more than football. And trying to get these guys to instill values in life they can use life after football, long after football.
Yeah. What excites you the most about this team?
I think their energy. These guys work hard and they come with juice. I mean, that was evident from the get-go. They're so raw and they just want to be successful, and they're buying into everything that we're selling them. And, I think it's just the raw juice and the raw energy they produce.
Friday night, the Tigers are at Owasso, which in a sense is kind of a homecoming for you. How will it feel to be back on the sidelines in Ram territory, but as a visitor?
Yeah, this will be the first time in however many years I've been associated with Owasso that I'll be on the visiting sideline. But hey, once toe meets leather, it's you either with us or you with them. So.
Absolutely. Not only are you the assistant head coach, you also coach defensive backs. Who's a few players that Tiger fans should keep their eye on the defense?
You obviously know Memphis. He had a big play last week in the Union game, a big-time interception. He's kind of the guy who gets us all lined up. I think a name that you will know that you need to circle is Buddy Mack. This guy is a big-time playmaker, kind of just get him involved, and I think he's going to have a big-time game this Friday.
What's one thing about you that Tiger fans don't know that you want them to know?
I love fried chicken. Any form of good fried chicken. I consider myself a fried chicken connoisseur and a burger connoisseur. Not making it, but eating it, receiving it.
That was 100 yards with assistant head coach Jacquez Washington. The Tigers take on the Rams this Friday at Owasso Stadium. Kickoff is set for 7:30 on ArrowVision.
What does community mean to you? Here at Broken Arrow Schools, we can't think of anything better than the communities we create, both inside the classroom and out in the world. Our community is rooted in our 4 core values, where relationships with students, teachers, parents, civic leaders, and businesses are what drive our success. We celebrate our diversity along the way by building a rapport with each other, no matter what path of life we walk on.
Community means connection, concern for others, and a commitment to showing we care.
It's about working toward a common goal so that we can accomplish more together than we ever could alone.
Community is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It involves intentionally and purposely pursuing relationships that positively connect us to one another.
Community means new beginnings and embracing challenges.
Community is 35 maintenance department employees doing our job to make it easier for you to do your job.
Community is formed intentionally, not by accident. It takes work, but it's worth it.
Community means volunteers and partners from the business sector. Tireless hours of giving time, money, and helpful hands are what make our businesses unique in Broken Arrow. Around the community, Broken Arrow schools are synonymous with helping hands and wonderful volunteers. Selfless acts of kindness displayed by our students, administrators, and teachers help build and strengthen our unity as one of the greatest districts in the state.
Community is finding our commonalities while embracing our differences.
Community is about partnerships and connections.
Community is about relationships.
Community isn't just about living in Broken Arrow, it's about kindness and giving back.
Community is engaging all of Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow is about building community and service above self.
Broken Arrow is a gift.
Community means providing resources and activities to further enhance our academics, athletics, and fine arts programs. Showcasing our students on state and national levels in competitions and academic prowess is key to their future successes, both in collegiate life and beyond. State-of-the-art classrooms, equipment, curriculum, and technology unify our students under a common bond of academic excellence.
Community is starting new traditions and building a championship culture.
Community is building champions for life.
It's creating an environment that inspires our students to achieve their highest academic, athletic, and personal potential.
Community is showing up in droves of black and gold and cheering the Tigers on to victory.
Community is taking pride in working together.
Community means a sense of belonging where all our students feel accepted and loved.
Community is 31 school sites all across the district, using technology to teach our kids in innovative ways.
Community is feeling connected. That connection comes from being part of something that's bigger than yourself, giving more than you take, and having compassion for others.
Community is all of us working together to educate and empower students and families to make our world a better place.
Community is 13 years at Broken Arrow Public Schools and graduating with 1,300 of my closest friends.
Community means togetherness. Community means support. Community means belonging. And community is Broken Arrow.
Finding your happy place is something special and different for everyone. You probably already know where to find yours, and TTCU Federal Credit Union can help you get there. Talk with our team. We'll give you the tools to build the financial future you want. So wherever your happy place finds you, TTCU will meet you there. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Just a reminder, there will come a time when they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true. Right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Welcome back to Moore, Oklahoma. After a bit of an extended halftime, it was homecoming, I think, or maybe senior day. They honored a whole bunch of people there at the half, and then they had a performance by the band as well. So a little bit of an extended halftime break there, but the Tigers are about ready to roll anyhow, as both teams are back out on the field warming up for the second half. I'm Adam Hildebrandt. Steve Spavital is next to me. Madison Dildine is down on the sideline. And Spav, we talked about this some over the halftime break. The Tigers, in every aspect almost, are dominating this game. They're outgaining Westmoore 244-63. they're out. They've gained 11 first downs compared to 4 for Westmoore. Again, they've shut them out in the first half at 16-0. But you look at the turnovers, Broken Arrow has committed 2. The Jaguars just 1. And then penalties, Broken Arrow 8 penalties for 66 yards in the first half, 5 for 30 for Westmoore, which isn't great either. But some of those penalties were real killers, and then you got the failed trips to the red zone. 1 for 2 overall. You got a field goal instead of a touchdown out of one of them. But the turnover in the red zone, that's a drop-dead turnover, that as in you're on a good drive and then it's just drop dead. And you can't have that kind of stuff. Broken Arrow, frankly, has put itself in a position, played well enough overall to be winning by 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Absolutely. I just think it's been a crazy first half. I mean, like you said, we're dominating the stats, but yet we have less possession time. You know, they have the ball more than we do, but yet we're dominating the stats and first downs. Penalties have been crucial. You know, 8 penalties. Have you ever seen 8 penalties for 66 yards and 5 penalties? So, I mean, you're talking about 13 penalties and a half. That's sloppy play.
That's basically a penalty every other minute.
Yeah. And you could see a lot of confusion, timing efforts. You know, they called 2 timeouts just right off the bat. And I think it stems from the layover. So, and something that's really crazy too is we average on first down 6.4 yards, I think is what it says. 6.4 yards on first down. I mean, that's our efficiency. But yet, our third down conversions, we're at 17%.
Yeah, very rarely do you have 11 first downs and a half and you're 1 for 6 on third downs. Those numbers don't really add up.
That doesn't make sense. But that's where your penalties come in, and just the sloppy play. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can control, and that's one of them that you need to do.
Let's go down to the sideline in Madison-Dildine. Madison, it was a long layover there at the half. Is there any energy down there on the sideline right now?
Yeah, they're getting re-pumped up right now. They are just still excited to play football and ready for the second half, guys.
Looking forward to it. That's Madison-Dildine. We'll hear more from her down the road in just a little bit. In the meantime, the Tigers will kick off to start the second half. They almost kicked off to start both halves. That ended up not being the case, but they will kick off to start the second half. So Westmoore will get the ball first.
Boy, I tell you, that official, he tried hard to say, are you sure you want to do that?
It was good times were had by all. The kick is away. It's a high end-over-end kick. Carries it back to the 10-yard line where it's caught coming straight up the middle of the field, and a big hit at the 22-yard line.
Great hit.
That was Andre Williams on the return. Who was that came flying up? That was the guy who we've gotten used to seeing make big hits, Dietrich Moore with the hit.
Oh, yeah. He always hits harder than his body allows, really.
Now, Spav, this is an interesting spot to be in here because it's a 16-point game. Yes, you've dominated this game, but if Westmoore were to go down and put the ball in the end zone and get a 2-point conversion, all of a sudden it's a one-possession game. This can set a little bit of a tone for the rest of this half.
You're absolutely right. It will set the tone.
The backup quarterback is in the game. Jacob Blyce enters the contest. The snap is to his left. He fumbles it, but somehow it's picked up by the running back behind him. Now that's Arnold bouncing to the near side. Jukes a man at the 20, outside to the 25, spins out of bounds past the 30-yard line. They mark him out just past the 31. It's a gain of 9 on the play on what was a busted play.
It should have been a loss of about 7. They fumbled the snap, and I tell you what, and we hit him, we just didn't wrap. We got to wrap up.
Jacob Blyce has not attempted a pass this season for Westmoore. That had all been done by Shaheem Johnson, who was 3 for 12 in the first half for 31 yards and 2 interceptions. So they're rolling with the backup Blyce for now.
Right. You think the other one's hurt?
It's possible. Blyce is just a 5'10 sophomore. Long sleeves under his black jersey. He drops the snap again. This one rolling to the near side. Near the sideline, the Tigers dive on it. Were they in bounds? There's a flag down, and they were in bounds. Jadaean Floyd Wright recovered the ball in bounds, but there is a flag down on the play. It fell about 12 yards out of bounds. You don't see that very often. And then you had a young man fake throwing it back into the field of play from Westmoore. Boy, what is this going to be? The snap, was it sideways, Spav, or did he just not catch it cleanly?
I think he just didn't catch it cleanly, but it was,
both snaps have been slightly left of center.
Well, I would say this halftime adjustment was not.
It's not coming out well so far. and that goes back to your question, is Shaheem Johnson potentially injured?
Yeah.
Now I see Johnson roaming around down there on the sideline.
Yeah, I do too. But
he's out near the huddle. We do not have any word from the officials yet on this penalty. Now we'll get one.
What was that?
That was a penalty on Westmoore. Was it before the snap officially? Because Westmoore gets the ball back, but it's back at its own 11-yard line. So it's second down and 20 plus.
This game's beyond these officials. They're having difficulty.
I think it was prior to the snap, because that single hand up, if I'm remembering correctly, is prior to the snap.
Well, but there was a flag right when we recovered the ball.
Yeah.
Just kind of right there, almost the same time.
All sorts of weird stuff happening there. In any case, it's second and forever, second and 21. So the defense still has a big chance to make a stop here for Broken Arrow.
And see,
three down linemen.
Their biggest problem is they don't spread you out. Their formations don't spread us out, so we have a lot of people in the box, and they're trying to run the football, and they're not creating.
Right now they're just trying to snap the football.
Yeah, exactly.
0 for 2 on completed snaps.
Oh gosh, here we go.
They set it now to third down and 21. Well, it can't have been before the snap then, because they wouldn't have lost the down. Blyce moving to his right, dumps it off underneath. It's caught at the 10-yard line, across the 15, flung forward to about the 18-yard line. Well short of the line to gain. That makes it fourth down and about 13. Mitchell Banning on the final tackle.
Yeah, we can create some good field position here, starting field position.
The Tigers' average starting field position so far in this game has not been great. Blyce was still on the field for the moment.
Neither has
the offense
them.
Comes out.
No one's been backed up.
Yeah, no, it's
a
been
lot.
Pretty back and forth in that in that area. Actually, I stand corrected. The Tigers' starting field position on average has been on its own 44-yard line.
Oh, that's good. That's excellent.
I did not realize that was going to be that high. Here's another whistle and a flag from the back judge. That's a delay of game on the punt team. You don't see that real often.
No.
That'll move the ball back to the 14-yard line as Dietrich Moore goes over to retrieve it.
Just more penalties.
No one's moved back yet. Okay.
So we had a total of 13 penalties for both teams. Now we're at 15.
So the only thing I can figure is that they must have ruled that fumble was recovered out of bounds by Jadaean Floyd Wright.
Yeah.
The punt is away, a pretty good kick. Moore having to back up on it, catches it moving to his right at the 45-yard line. He is stopped and pushed backwards, eventually knocked down by a third defender. And they mark him at the 48. He caught that around the 46. But in any case, the Tigers will start with the football in plus territory.
I don't know, man.
10:38 to play in the third quarter, leading 16-0. And Spav, the Tigers had multiple opportunities in the first half to punch the ball in the end zone. They were only able to score once offensively. R.J. Spears-Jennings had the pick six. But can you find a way to go put this ball in the end zone, find pay dirt, and make this a three-possession game?
We have to. We have to find ourselves. We're running the football now. Just get in there.
Straight up the middle to Jones, carrying a couple of defenders over the right side. Now getting a shove from Stieber. That's a gain of 7 yards. He was hit at the line of scrimmage. That's a strong run from Nate Jones.
Absolutely. That's a great run. But we've always been pretty good at that with the yards after contact. We've been really good with that, and even with yards after catch.
Second down, and we'll call it a long 3. They hand it off to Jones again, straight at the middle, dancing between the tackles. He gets about 2 inside the 40. Marked down at the 39. And we'll bring up third down and 1. In on the stop was Talon Pierce. senior defensive end. He's got good size, 6'3", 235.
We're putting some big bodies in here. Let's see. We've got the muddle huddle again, so we're going to run with the two backs, you know.
We've seen Stieber sneak it out of this. Split out to the left side is Sterling Ramsey. Tigers break the huddle. It's a shotgun formation on 3rd down and 1. Here's a snap, direct snap to Jones. Cuts it to the left side, trying to bounce it outside. He's drugged down, and he didn't get it. No gain. Marked out at the 39-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and 1. And the Tigers are now just 1 for 7 on 3rd downs tonight.
We're having trouble with a lot of their penetration now, but we're not spreading them out. They're putting everybody in the box here. They're taking a chance here. And you know, a good thing here could be possibly a play-action pass.
4th down and 1. Stieber will take it himself. Straight at the middle, leans to the right side. He sticks the ball out, didn't get it. The ball comes loose, and Westmoore scoops it up. The Jaguars running the other way. Nate Jones trying to track him down inside the 20. Gets a block inside the 10 and ushered out of bounds by Jones at the 9-yard line. Suddenly, Westmoore is in business as the Tigers fail to convert on 3rd down. On 4th down, 8:45 to play in the 3rd quarter, and Westmoore will get the ball at the Broken Arrow 9-yard line.
Man, I didn't see the fumble.
That was Michael Patterson McDonald. He stuck the ball out late. Stieber was trying to get that 1st down, stuck the ball out, and the ball either was knocked free or came free before he got down. And a big credit to Nate Jones. He was the only guy that had a chance to make that play for Broken Arrow and at least give the defense a chance to hold him to 3 here.
Exactly.
It's still Jacob Blyce in the game at quarterback for Westmoore. The Jaguars start 1st and goal from the 9. Here's the snap. He fakes the handoff, now hands it off on the counter right side. Arnold stops, reverses course. He's wrapped up and brought down a yard behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 1, putting the ball back to the 10-yard line. 2nd and goal coming up.
That was great defense. They're running a split zone again, you know. And what happened is the back just took off and went outside of a block, and then he stopped and had to cut back in. He just didn't read the defense very well.
Looked like he was trying to do too much on his own.
Yeah, it was like he wanted to bounce that thing and get outside, and it wasn't there.
2nd and goal. Tight end tried to come out. Now they jog him back into the game. That's Zane Zielny. 1 receiver right, 1 left. Under center this time is Jacob Blyce. Motion into the backfield. They fake the handoff on the jet sweep. The pitch is high. The ball is loose. And I think Westmoore got back on it at the 18-yard line. Blyce has put the ball on the ground 3 times now. And unless Shaheem Johnson is hurt or unable to play for some reason, then I would think they'll be reconsidering this quarterback change. Johnson is coming over to the huddle. Blyce is there as well. It'll be Johnson that goes into the game.
You know, I'm not so sure I wouldn't just snap it to
Arnold.
Yeah.
The running back.
Snap it to Arnold.
It's
let
now
him
3rd
run.
and goal from the 18. We were a bit unsure of the kicking situation for Westmoore as well. Here's the snap. Arnold's going to drop back and throw it. Looking deep over the middle. He's got a man. It is caught. Touchdown, Westmoore. They got the trickeration as Arnold, who's run the ball very well all game, drops in a pass. That's only the 3rd touchdown pass of the year. Xavier Simpkins comes up with the reception. And now will they kick the PAT or go for 2? It looks like the offense will stay on the field and try to make this a 1-possession game. What do we have here? This is a goofy formation. There's guys all over the field for the 2-point conversion attempt.
Yeah, it's kind of like the muddle huddle, you know.
Yep, now it's a wildcat formation with Arnold in the backfield. Here's the direct snap. They fake the handoff. Now it's a double reverse. They dump the pass into the end zone, and it's incomplete. It was on target, but the receiver jumped too early and came back down without the football. That was Zielny who was there for the intended target. He's a big kid, but just a sophomore, 6'3", 200, and perhaps the sea legs not quite underneath him yet as he jumped a little early.
I was
16-6 the score. We need to take a break, take a deep breath, try to digest what we just saw over the last 3 minutes of football.
It was just funny.
7:11 remaining in the 3rd quarter. This is Tiger Football on ArrowVision.
Finding your happy place is something special and different for everyone. You probably already know where to find yours, and TTCU Federal Credit Union can help you get there. Talk with our team. We'll give you the tools to build the financial future you want. So wherever your happy place finds you, TTCU will meet you there. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome back to Moore, Oklahoma. 16-6, Broken Arrow leading Westmoore. The Jaguars have a little bit of momentum after the fumble recovery and the touchdown, but the two-point conversion failed. Spav, if you're on the Broken Arrow sideline here, you feel like you've been in control of this game the whole time, but this is we've seen a little bit of a momentum shift. What are you emphasizing for the offense coming into this next drive?
Well, the offense is going to have to get first downs. We're just going to have to control the ball, get first downs, and do things simple. We cannot turn the football over.
7-11 remaining in the third quarter. Now watch it. I don't like the feeling of this. Keep an eye out for the onside kick. I'm not saying it's likely, but in a situation where you're the underdog and you're trying to keep the momentum going your way, it also wouldn't completely shock me. Defense just got to stop at midfield the last time out for Westmoore too.
And it's not like we've dominated the red zone either.
No. Spears Jennings back to return along with Horn. Kick is away. It's a good kick. Horn will receive it at the 5, bringing it straight up the middle of the field, looking for a seam. Jukes to his right. There's a flag down. Makes another man miss. Now digging back to his left. He's wrapped up and brought down. There's another flag. Flags on flags on flags on flags. Boy, these players for Westmoore got to be careful picking up these flags. Tanner Falwell scooped it up and I think innocently tried to toss it back to the official, but you run the risk of them misunderstanding and them thinking you're throwing the flag at them. There's 2 flags down, and in that case, he tossed it back up the field. It's actually beneficial for Westmoore to have it where it originally was.
Gosh.
If that is a hold on Broken Arrow, and that'll move it back
what's
inside
the other
30.
One, what's the other one?
I only saw one signal.
I did too.
Maybe they were for the same. Maybe they were for the same play. 7:02 remaining in a game that seems like it may go on until Friday night.
Midnight, I know.
It is 9:08 p.m. I mean, this is looking like a Division I college game between 2 air raid offenses.
Exactly.
It's just a 4-hour football game. Handoff to Jones
go.
over the left side. Good hole. Cuts it up the middle across the 25, but he lost the football, and it's recovered by Westmoore inside the 35-yard line. And now the momentum has really swung the way of the Jaguars.
Oh, my gosh. What's happening here?
The Tigers have now put the ball on the ground 6 times and lost it 4 times. And it will be Westmoore football at the Broken Arrow 35-yard line. Boy, that's putting a lot on this defense, Spav.
It is. It is. It really is. It's the defense has to make something happen like they have.
Can the defense force a turnover? Here's the snap. It's Blyce back in the game. He wants to throw it, lobs it up the middle, and it's caught inside the 20-yard line, cutting left side inside the 10 and undercut at around the 7-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal there. The catch made by Zane Chavez, the tight end. Jacob Blyce completes his first pass as a Westmoore Jaguar, and it's 1st and goal again for Westmoore.
And we put a lot of pressure on them, too. We were coming with a lot of people, running a little man coverage, and the guy just snuck a little inside there and just took off running.
Some of the Westmoore players are down here on the track, waving their arms in the air, trying to get this crowd behind them. 1st and goal. Blyce goes under center this time. Here's the snap. They hand it off straight up the middle. Dancing around is Arnold. Tries to cut it up, and he's brought down. A good individual tackle there by Jadaean Floyd Wright at the 7-yard line. No gain on the play.
No, it's good penetration with us. Our D-line did a great job. We're running the split zone. and just had put a lot of pressure on the running back. Had no running lanes.
And Arnold's a sturdy kid, 5'10", 185.
And he's
pretty
strong.
built.
Yeah, and he's strong.
If you can keep him from getting that head of steam heading towards the line of scrimmage, that gives you a better chance to bring him down.
Absolutely.
Here's the snap on second and goal. Arnold to the right side. He's wrapped up again. Might have got a yard down to the 6 this time.
A lot of penetration. We're putting a lot of pressure on the gaps.
Jadaean Floyd right on the tackle again, brings up 3rd down and goal. Now, Westmoore had to go to a trick play the last time around to get the ball in the end zone.
Right.
They ran the running back pass. Will they try to pull a rabbit out of a hat again here?
I wouldn't put it past them, that's for sure.
16-6, Broken Arrow leads, but this second half has been all Westmoore so far. So far, Broken Arrow being doubled up in yardage. Now it's scored 6-0 in the second half. Want to throw it, dump it off to the near side. Arnold with it, ahead of steam at the 10-yard line, tries to run through a man. He dropped the football. Franklin has it scooped up, and does Broken Arrow have it? Yes, they do. The Tigers force the turnover in the red zone. Javion Franklin poked the ball free, scooped it up, and he keeps points off the board for Westmoore.
That's awesome. Well, I tell you, a lot of it was, Arnold was trying that extra yardage. He was trying to be tough and physical in there, and sometimes that can go against you, and that's what happened there.
Javion Franklin is listed at 5'9", 141.
And he's not afraid to hit you.
Brandon Arnold is 5'10", 185. He had the size advantage, but Franklin stood up to the physicality challenge.
I know. He tried to run him over, but that's not going to happen.
1st and 10, Broken Arrow from its own 9-yard line. Here's the snap, handout to Marion Horn, moving left, cuts it up the middle, across the 10, out near the 12, and he's brought down there. It's a gain of 3 on 1st down, bringing up 2nd down and 7. 4:45 to play in the 3rd, and the Tigers lead 16-6. Fox into the slot.
They're trying to find that little funnel, in there to run on a little stretch play. I love the stretch play. I love what we do with it.
2nd and 7. That's Horn in the backfield again. He motions to the left side of the formation now. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Here's the snap, fake handoff, zip pass on the slant route, and it's through the hands of the intended target, Sterling Ramsey.
Yeah, he was open. That wasn't a bad throw.
No, it hit him.
It was a good throw, yes.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
And this is probably the worst field position any of us have started at. Both teams.
Yeah, without question. Defenders backing off on all receivers but the one on the far side. Jones in the game now, running back. Stever's going to throw on 3rd and 7. Trying to scramble up the middle, steps through the defense. Now he's wrapped up, breaks the tackle, dumps it off to the far side. It's caught, and that's going to be a first down for Broken Arrow. Spears Jennings makes the catch. There's a flag down on the near side, and I think he might have been across the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
Oh, really?
I think he was.
My gosh!
I think he was about a yard, maybe 2, because that was an awfully short throw, and it was caught right at the yard to gain marker. I think he might have been past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
The officiating crew's talking it over. Right now, they're standing at the 14-yard line. The line of scrimmage is at the 12. Now, in theory, you could potentially get a little wiggle room.
Is this a loss of down? When they do that? Yeah,
yes,
loss
it
of
is.
down.
So that makes it 4th down and about 12.
Yeah.
Right, they're saying it's just 3rd down right now. That should be 4th down.
I thought he said loss of down.
He did say loss of down. Maybe they didn't switch it from 2nd down to 3rd down. It's marked as 3rd and 10 right now. Interesting. Oh, it does say 4th down on the scoreboard. The sticks say 3rd down. What is happening? The punt team started to come on the field. Now they'll jog back off. Broken Arrow's going to have to take a timeout. Play clock's down to 7. There's a whistle and a stoppage. And Broken Arrow does take the timeout. And I think Coach Blankenship's trying to get clarification on what down it is. I think it's supposed to be 4th down.
Yeah, he gave the loss of down signal, but the referee did not get the the sideline to change the box.
So it said 4th down on the scoreboard. It still says 3rd down on the sticks.
Yeah.
You can see it there in the
says
video
4th down
at the top
here.
of the screen.
Yeah. It says 4th down everywhere except for there.
If that's a loss of down, it was so Horn ran it left. That was 1st down. And then the slant that was incomplete was 2nd down. And then that play would have been 3rd down.
It was 3rd down, but
so
then
the loss of down would make it 4th down. Yeah,
right.
it should be 4th down.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a break on the field. We'll take a break, see if we can straighten things out, and let you know when we return. This is Broken Arrow Tiger Football on ArrowVision.
Finding your happy place is something special and different for everyone. You probably already know where to find yours, and TTCU Federal Credit Union can help you get there. Talk with our team. We'll give you the tools to build the financial future you want. So wherever your happy place finds you, TTCU will meet you there. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Well, as you can see there on the left side of your screen, the officials are talking things over with Josh Blankenship. We've been talking things over up here, and we're all pretty convinced that it should be 4th down, but the sticks still say 3rd down, and the scoreboard still says 4th. So
I know.
Remember how going into the break I said we'll try to figure things out? We actually haven't learned anything, so I apologize.
Maybe, now they changed it to 4th,
maybe,
didn't they?
Okay, yes, it does say 4th down in front of the sticks now. Let's go down to the sideline and Madison Dildine. Madison, were you able to catch any of that conversation? Can you shed any light on this situation?
Not from the refs, but guys, in the huddle, Griffin is leading this team. He's creating the energy and trying to get that momentum going for the offense.
That's Madison Dildine on the sideline. Thanks, Madison and Spav. That's what you like to see from your senior quarterback, the leader of your squad. Now the punt team is on the field for the Tigers. Stieber will catch it about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Here comes the pressure. He's able to get it away. It's an okay kick, wobbling up the middle of the field, bounces at the 43-yard line and takes an almost exactly neutral bounce straight towards the Broken Arrow sideline. And for a 3rd consecutive time, Westmoore will start in Broken Arrow territory.
Inside the 50, yeah.
Now, the Tigers were able to get a stop on one of those times by forcing that turnover. At the very least, you kind of reset Westmoore a little bit. Instead of 3rd and goal, they've got 1st and 10 from the Broken Arrow 43.
Well, we're playing good defense. I mean, we gave up a halfback pass. I mean, for the touchdown. So, other than that, we're playing good defense. We're putting a lot of pressure on them. They're limiting what they can do. We're not going to have them sit back and throw the football. Now they're trying to spread us a little bit.
Yep, trips left. That is still the backup quarterback, Jacob Blyce, in at the quarterback spot. He takes a snap. He is hit hard. And did the football come free? It did not, but an excellent hit on the far side from Mitchell Banning, who came through and got the sack. That pushes it all the way back into Westmoore territory at the 47-yard line.
Perfect. It's what we needed, because now it's 2nd 20, basically. So what makes that good? He just came clean.
He did.
I mean,
I don't know if it was a stunt, because he usually lines up on the interior. He came off the far side.
We do a lot of twisting. I'm not sure if we twisted on that one, but
Blyce he never saw it coming. He almost had no chance.
Right.
Which, sophomore quarterback, your eyes are down the field. You might not feel that coming off the edge. Here's flags everywhere. It's a false start against Westmoore. That's going to back him up to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, well, the whole reason is we're showing blitz and we're coming heavy with a lot of bodies. And, sometimes these linemen get a little antsy to get out there, especially when a tackle has to get out, jump out onto the perimeter blitz.
It is now 2nd down and 25.
Yeah.
The punt pushed him out to the 43. And now the Tiger defense has moved Westmoore back into its own territory at the 42-yard line. And a penalty. Trips right, ball near the middle of the field on the 42. Blyce takes the snap, zips it over the left side. It's high and incomplete. That ball got to the hands of Jalen Franklin in a hurry, and he couldn't quite get his hands up in time. That brings up 3rd down and 25.
And this is great, too. I mean, we put another pressure on them, put them in a fourth down situation, and then we get the ball and get a good return, which we're more than capable of doing it with Dietrich Moore. You know, he can return those punts.
Westmoore has rushed the ball for minus 11 yards in the second half.
Wow.
And 20 in the game total. The run defense has been excellent. The defense overall has been excellent, frankly.
Yes, exactly.
3rd down and 25. The snap is dropped, and there's defenders everywhere. He's wrapped up and swallowed back at the 32-yard line. That was effectively a second punt by the defense. It's 4th and a country mile. I mean, they got to get to, I don't know, Ada to get this first down.
Boy, I mean, that was a well-versed offensive series.
Yeah. 4th down and McAllister for the Westmoore Jaguars as they move west to east.
They're going to punt the ball, and they're not even going to get a first down with the punt.
The punter stands at his own 18. Snap is back. The kick is away. It's a wobbly spiral moving to the right side. It hits at the 40-yard line. Takes a Westmoore bounce. The Tigers pounced on it, and now the ball's loose. And Westmoore has recovered at the 39-yard line.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh, boy.
Why would you try and touch that ball? It's our ball.
I wonder, it took a funny hop, and I wonder if it bounced off of him the first time. And so he felt like he had to go get it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe.
If it maybe bounced sideways and hit him, and so he felt like he had to go get it, but then he didn't pick it up cleanly. Now, here's the officials are talking. If Broken Arrow never had possession, that's not past the first down marker.
Mm-hmm.
I think by touching it, that's deemed Broken Arrow possession, and so it will still be Westmoore football. No, it's Broken Arrow football. Because they didn't get it past the first down marker, the Tigers never possessed the football, and Broken Arrow gets the ball.
Wow.
Ooh.
You talk
Things
about a
you have
crazy
never seen before
game.
on a football field.
This is
Holy
such a crazy game.
4th down
you know, and I've
forever.
been coaching a long time, and I haven't seen half of this stuff.
That's incredible. So it is Broken Arrow football. Stieber takes the snap, takes it straight up the middle, and he gains about 3 yards out to the 44-yard line. My mind is blown.
I know. I haven't.
It was 4th and 35. The punt went 27 yards, and then officially was down at that point. Wow. Because Westmoore jumped on it but didn't have enough space to get the first down.
Right.
A handoff to Jones over the left side,
That
trying that stretch play.
I love that play.
About 5 yards out to the 48-yard line. Because Broken Arrow clearly touched it, right? So for all intents and purposes, that was a quote-unquote muffed punt.
Right.
And they spotted it where it was recovered, so it certainly was recovered by Westmoore. I don't see any other way to interpret that than they didn't get it past the sticks.
I'm with you, exactly.
That's
nuts.
Mind-blowing and incredibly fortunate, I might add, for the Tigers. 16-6, Broken Arrow lead. Swing pass to the near side. Jones, I don't think ever quite brought it in. He's brought down anyhow. They do say he caught it, and he's down at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2. The Tigers might have to punt here. It's a 3 and out, presuming that the Tigers don't go for it. The last drive for Westmoore was 3 plays, negative 25 yards.
I shouldn't be laughing, but that's.
I think the long halftime stepped us into the twilight zone.
I know. I mean, it was a crazy first half to begin with, and now this is crazier.
Snap is back. Stieber catches it. He's able to delay a moment and then get a good punt away. It is fair caught at the 24-yard line by Xavier Ware. And that is where Westmoore will start 1st and 10 in the worst field position it's had all half.
Right. Right.
Including the kickoff they returned.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep in mind that a few minutes ago, there's only 5 seconds left in the quarter. A few minutes ago, Westmoore started with the ball 1st and goal from the 7-yard line to make it a 3-point game potentially if they went and scored a touchdown.
Right.
And without the Broken Arrow offense moving the ball almost at all, the ball is now all the way back to the Westmoore 24-yard line. You talk about winning the field position battle.
I know.
Tigers haven't moved the ball at all, and it just keeps going back that way.
Yeah.
The defense,
and they haven't had really bad field position.
Yeah, the defense and punt team have won the field position battle outright for the last 6 minutes of football.
Exactly. Now they'll fumble the snap here.
This will presumably be the last play of the third quarter unless something else circusy happens. They hand it off to Arnold. He breaks one tackle, cuts it back to the left, now steps inside of another man across the 30, dragging a defender. He's ramped up and wrestled down around the 31-yard line. And that is how the third quarter will mercifully come to an end.
Gosh.
Where's the calliope when you need one?
I know.
We will head to the fourth with Broken Arrow leading 16-6. We'll take a break, flip the field around, and be back to close out with the final 12 minutes in a moment. This is Tiger Football on ArrowVision.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
We head to the fourth quarter with Broken Arrow leading Westmoore 16-6. Westmoore has 2nd and 2 coming up on its own 32-yard line. I'm Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine is down on the sidelines for us. Madison, as we head to the fourth quarter, give us a report. I assume the temperature's cooled off now that the sun's gone down. What's it like on the sidelines down there right now?
It has cooled off a bit, guys, but it still feels just as good as it did earlier. There's a slight breeze, and the Tigers are ready to win this.
Was there a certain level of confusion on the sideline when that muff punt was recovered, or relief? Did you get any sense after that play?
They all just kind of stood around. I guess they are confused a little, but who wouldn't be, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that if Spav hasn't seen it before.
No,
I don't know who else would have seen it before.
Well,
than standing on that
I've been
sideline.
coaching a long time, but you were absolutely right. You nailed it.
Maybe we need to call up Bill Blankenship, ask him if he's seen
that
before.
he's seen it.
I mean, sheesh. All right, well, 12 minutes on the clock to start the fourth quarter. Blyce is in at quarterback. He hands it. No, he faked the handoff. Rolling to his right side, zings it to the near side. It's dropped. Incomplete. That would have been a catch for first down yardage and likely a little bit more, but the intended receiver, Jalen Hardison, couldn't bring it in. That was a good throw.
That's one of their top receivers, I know. And that was one of their best receivers.
The Tigers catch a break there. It brings up 3rd down and 2. This has got to be 4-down territory, right? You're down 10 with 11:54 to play. I know you're in your own territory, but this is a team that hasn't moved the ball well. You got to take your shots so you can get them at this point.
Well, it's just 3rd and 3 here. They should be able to.
Blyce takes the snap, hands it off to Arnold, runs through a man on the left side, but then is drugged down. I think he's a little bit short. Boy, I got to tell you, Spav, when he hit the hole, I thought he was going to bust through it. That was a strong tackle from somebody on that far side.
Yeah, because
I think it might have been Dietrich Moore.
Yeah. Because, he's so powerful, you can't tackle him with an arm. He's going to break the arm.
Arnold is down. Boy, and Brandon Arnold has been a lot of their offense tonight. He's carried it 16 times for 47 yards. He's thrown the lone touchdown pass for the Jaguars this evening. He's a guy who they really can't afford to lose.
No.
When you even look back at their season stats, he had 70 touches, and other than Johnson attempting 72 passes, that's far and away the most touches on the team.
Right. I mean, he is their offense. So obviously we know their quarterback's hurt. He has to be. And you got your best running back hurt. I mean, that's going to tell you have zero offense right now. He's a tough kid.
Got a little bit of a hobble as he comes over to the near side. Going to head over to the injury tent. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to. Oh, there he goes into the injury tent. Well, we got a stoppage on the field. We've had Spav. It's not often I'm at a loss for words to describe what we've seen. It's a little bit hard to describe what we've seen in this football game. It's been unfortunately a myriad of good individual plays mixed with mistakes for both teams. I don't even see a moon, and then we had clear skies earlier.
It was a full moon
last night. We're told by expert spotter and astrology major Jeremy Bryan that astronomy major Jeremy Bryan. The dump pass to the left side. That's a bunch of room up the far side into midfield. Now at the Tiger 40, trying to get inside the 30, spun down. It'll be a first down and a lot more. That's Donnie Ree who came up to make the stop on the catch that time. I think was Andre Williams.
That was hard to get there because we're putting a lot of pressure on him, and we just didn't have that young man covered out of the backfield. That was the back out of the backfield.
First down and 10 now from the Tiger 22. This is still just a 10-point game with 11:22 remaining. Two receivers and a tight end left, a tight end right as well. Pistol set, motion from left to right. Here's the snap. Blyce hands it off. Hit at the line of scrimmage and spun down for no gain was Andre Williams. Coming in to make the stop was Julius McVeigh, the big senior leading the way out of the middle.
You know what's interesting is we're just totally dominating the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I mean, our defensive line is just dominating the line of scrimmage. They're not able to run the ball inside. They have to try perimeters and all this stuff and those little screens, those flare screens. So, there's a lot of good things, but gosh, we've got.
The Jaguars have rushed the ball 31 times for 21 yards total for an average of less than 1 yard per carry. Same formation, motion left to right. They give it away on the jet sweep this time and spun down for a loss as the ball carrier, Dietrich Moore, coming in to make the stop. He would not let Ware away. Boy, that's some speed to get to the edge like that for Moore.
And what's sad is they've rushed the ball. How many yards now? Did you say?
20? Well, it was 11. It was 21, but he just went backwards several yards.
So what's the possession time?
Right now, Westmoore leads 19-19 to 16-41.
See, that's what's crazy is they can't even run the football or do anything.
That was technically a completed pass.
Yeah, that's true.
So it did not go against them in the rushing category. Here's the snap. Blyce wants to throw it, launches it over the middle, and it is incomplete, overthrown. Tigers might have got away with a little bit of a tug on the jersey there, but it's all right. And the Westmoore coaching staff, I think, is making that opinion heard right now as well. It's fourth down and a long way, but again, we're not really sure of the kicking situation for Westmoore, and I think the offense is going to stay on the field here.
Oh, yeah, this is fourth down now. They need to.
It looked like that receiver had a step. The problem is Westmoore does have enough speed on the outside that you can't. If you put the umbrella over the top and somebody catches it underneath,
they have a lot of speed.
4th and 16 is close enough to be able to get that first down.
And they do. They have a lot of athletes. They're wide receivers. They're running back. And even the old quarterback before he got hurt. Great athletes.
And I saw Williams break that 45-yard reception. I mean, he was quick. We got a timeout on the field. We'll keep it here.
But the whole difference is line of scrimmage. We're controlling line of scrimmage, but yet they have more possession time. This game is just blowing my mind. It's just crazy.
Spav, the Tigers tonight are 1 for 8 offensively on third down. Gosh. They've turned the ball over 4 times. 4-3, but they turned the ball over 4 times. If I would have told you that the Tigers were 1 for 8 on third down and had turned the ball over 4 times, would you have thought they'd be winning by 10 points?
No, because I'm telling you, if you win the turnover battle, statistically, like almost 70%, you're going to win the game.
Unfortunately, they forced 3, so they're only a -1 net.
Well, I think a lot
The
of
two
it
teams
is
combined, Spav, have put the ball on the turf 13 times tonight. And now almost 14. Oh, it's a direct snap to the running back, trying the left side. Not a lot of room. He gets about 7 yards, but he's brought down at the 23-yard line. He tried to be a little tricky. That was Josh Davis, the sophomore running back, who caught the direct snap and ran with it. And it did not fool the Tigers. I think they were trying to act like they snapped it by the quarterback. They fooled me briefly, to be honest.
Right.
But it did not fool the Tiger defense. And that Broken Arrow gets the ball back 1st and 10 from its own 22.
I just think this is a game to where I really believe we're a lot better than them. But yet with our penalties and turnovers, we're keeping them in the game.
Broken Arrow has not scored since the pick 6 from R.J. Spears-Jennings with 10 minutes to play in the second quarter. Reverse to Marion Horn. Look out, he's got room across the 35. Hit near the sideline, now bounces off of it at the 40-yard line. Sprinting back up between defenders and spun forward into Westmoore territory at the 48-yard line. What a run from Marion Horn.
I just love watching him run
The Duke
because
can
he's
move.
not going to run out of bounds. He's not going to go out of bounds. He's going to spin, do whatever. He's going to make yardage, more yardage.
I tell you what, Spav. More on that in just a moment. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Here's the snap. Handoff straight at the middle to Jones. Bursting through the line of scrimmage inside the 40. Runs over a man, and he's brought down at the 34-yard line. That'll move the chains again.
Now we seem determined. Let's go.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Tigers moving with pace and a whistle. The ball was
injury
marked ready for play. There's a Westmoore player down. Spav, I think back to when Spears-Jennings made that interception, took it back for a touchdown. At that point, it's 16-0. There's still 10 minutes left in the second quarter, and it felt like the Tigers might be on their way to a blowout.
Oh, yeah.
All the momentum was with Broken Arrow, and then things got kind of goofy after that.
I know.
And it just killed all the momentum in the game, and then eventually Westmoore was able to take some of that momentum back, and you know, it's still a ball game at this point.
Well,
10-point game with 8.5 to play.
Things just don't make sense. I mean, when we were averaging the first half almost 7 yards, 6.4 yards per first down, and yet we were 1 for 6 at the time now, or more. I mean, our third down conversions are horrible. I mean, it's just, but you got to look at it. We probably had a penalty and backs us up, and then, you know, makes it a lot harder.
I can assure you that happened on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a backwards game.
It just doesn't make sense.
I feel like we're in some like weird
Twilight
football void or something that we're gonna walk out of, and we might at this point we might have to drive west to get back to Tulsa. I mean, that would make as much sense as anything else at this point.
Exactly.
1st and 10 from the 34-yard line of Westmoore. Stieber wants to take it up the middle. Not a lot of room to work. Now bounces off a tackler, undercut, and dropped for a loss of about a half yard back near the 35-yard line. Brings up 2nd down and a little more than 10.
Yeah, they kind of sniffed that out.
Whistles blowing. The red hat was still on the field. The Cox is still in the break. They hadn't come back from the commercial break yet. Well, you know,
there we go again. There's something else.
But you know who wasn't on a break? ArrowVision. We had that half-yard loss covered the whole way. Good work, crew. Oh,
boy,
man.
I knew this was a crazy game.
that guy did not look happy about what was taking place. Now he's coiling up the cord. We're about ready to get back to football. Oh, man, that was
classic.
You
right
know,
there.
at this point.
Now, again, I've never seen that either in all my years of coaching.
At this point, Spav, you better be able to chuckle about what's going on, or it's just going to be a long night.
Oh, gosh, that's funny.
Thank goodness Mrs. Spavital made us snacks for the ride home, because we're
I
going to need it. It's 9:39.
I know.
We'll be rolling back about midnight. 16-6, Broken Arrow leads just under the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
Poor Madison has to go back and teach in the morning. Gosh.
She's going to need some coffee or an energy drink.
Yeah.
But don't just feel bad for her. My kids, I guarantee, will be up about 6:15. Stieber dumping it down the right side, looking for Marion Horn, leaps, and he makes the catch inside the 10-yard line.
See, it's about time we completed that. Those fades have been open.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Trips right to the boundary. Tight end right as well. Off balance right for the Tigers. Stieber takes a snap, hands it out to Jones. He's got the corner at the 5-yard line. He is wrapped up and slid down inside the 5. They mark him down around the 4.
We had that. We just had one lineman miss his block.
There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage. And yeah, Spav, from our angle, you could see that corner was set for him.
Yes.
He had the room, but somebody was able to shoot through.
Right.
The flag is a hold against the Tigers. That'll move it back to the 16-yard line. This is the third time tonight, Spav, that the Tigers have gotten inside the 10-yard line, and either a penalty or a turnover has pushed them back out.
I know. Man, I can't remember the last time I seen a game with this many penalties.
I'll get you a total number at this point because it's a bunch.
It's like 20.
That is 18 penalties. No, that one hasn't registered yet. That is 19 penalties for nearly 160 yards combined. Here's the snap, handoff straight up the middle to Jones. A little bit of room. Now they're pushing him inside the 10-yard line. He's brought down around the 9. That'll bring up second down and goal from the 9-yard line. Broken Arrow scored 3 in the first quarter, 13 in the second. Westmoore got 6 points in the third quarter, and it's been 16-6 ever since.
I know.
We just crossed the 7-minute mark here in the fourth. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Fullback right, Stieber takes a snap. Zips it to the right side, incomplete. It looked like Marion Horn got tangled up with the defender, but no call in either direction. That'll bring up third down and goal from the 9-yard line. Marion Horn, they had gotten him touches throughout the course of non-district play, but he has been more of a focal point of the offense tonight without question.
Absolutely. I mean,
he's got 5 catches for 46 yards and 4 rushes for 58. It's his best offensive output of the year.
Right. He's just fun to watch.
That might be the best thing that's come out of this game so far for Broken Arrow is kind of his reemergence, and clearly if they want to use him, he's available. We got another whistle and a stoppage and a timeout called by Broken Arrow.
Okay, a little confusion. So each of us have 2 timeouts.
A little confusion on the sideline, a lot of confusion in the booth over the course of the night. We've been having to read hand signals from officials and all. It's been like trying to decode something in the Da Vinci Code, trying to figure out some of this stuff this evening.
And you know, that's beyond me. I'm just an old football coach. I don't know that stuff.
Trying to remember the name of the device that he had to undo. Man, I know this name, and was it a codex? That could be. I think you might be right. Yeah, we should hand Spav a codex sometime. Just let him go to work, see what happens. Give him some clues. 16-6, Broken Arrow leads. And you know, Spav, as wonky as this game has been, it has never felt like the Tigers weren't in control.
No,
maybe after that fumble when Westmoore returned it inside the 10 and had a chance to make it a one-possession game, that was as close as it's felt. But for the vast majority of this game, it's felt like Broken Arrow was in complete control.
Absolutely.
And just unable to take off.
We just shoot ourselves in the foot. When we say that, we're literally doing that because of penalties and all kinds of things.
Empty backfield for Griffin Stieber. 2 receivers and a tight end right now. Motion from Marion Horn. They fake the handoff. Stieber trying to take it right up the gut. Powering his way in towards the 5-yard line. He's stacked up and pushed forward into the end zone, but he was already had his forward progress stopped. They mark him down at the 6-yard line. Brings up 3rd and goal from the 6. Check that, 4th and goal from the 6. And here comes the field goal unit.
Good.
So far this season, Hunter Martins is 2 for 2. Both of his field goals have been between 30 and 39 yards. This one would be just a 23-yarder. It's a short angle because he's on the right hash, so it's barely more than an extra point. The kick is up. It is high enough. It's long enough, and it is good. Martin's 3 for 3 in his Tiger career kicking field goals, and he puts Broken Arrow up by 13 points, 19-6 with 6:04 to play.
Very good.
You know, it felt important to put some sort of points on the board there.
Absolutely. You know, because no telling what was going to happen if we went for 4th down. The number of turnovers we've had, the number of penalties we've had, there's a lot of things that could have happened. Putting those 3 points on the board is good. You always need points in the red zone.
But 4 fumbles that seems a little bit of like the thing that might earn you some extra wind sprints at practice on Monday.
It's just been like you said, it feels like we're dominating the game, but it's just a sloppy game or I don't know. We've been saying crazy because just a lot of crazy things have been happening that don't make sense, but it hasn't been a very clean game. Obviously.
Have we considered?
This reminds me of like a first ball game of the year, where your timing's not right. You have turnovers. You have penalties.
What's happening here?
We're not fitting right.
Martins is not deep for this kick as the kicker. This looks like it might be high and short. Some wacky things have happened. This ball might bounce right back into his hands or something. Here's the kick. It is high and short to the near side. It is caught at the 34-yard line. Trying to return it left now across the 35 to the 40. He's got a seam into midfield and now into Tiger territory at the 47-yard line. On the return was Connor Kavner, another sophomore. He's a linebacker at 5'10", 170. We've seen a lot of young guys play for Westmoore today.
Absolutely. I don't know if they've been hurt or what. I mean, this is a physical game.
And it might just be young talent. I mean, even Arnold is a senior, but Johnson, the starting quarterback, was a sophomore. Blyce, the backup quarterback, is a sophomore.
Right.
I think it's just a younger group.
Right, I agree.
Trips right, Blyce is the quarterback. First and 10 from the Tiger 48. Blyce throwing it near side. It's caught at the 45.
Where are you going?
Trying to make an individual play. He runs backwards 2 yards. It's just a gain of 2. Coming up to make the stop was Jalen Franklin. That was Xavier Simpkins on the catch. He was running like he had blockers on a screen, but he didn't have any blockers on the screen.
Man, he was running backwards. I'm going, what are you doing?
But that's one of those things you get in the film room tomorrow or Monday or whenever it is and say, hey, you don't need to make an individual play like that. Get what you can, and we'll go from there. Oh, there's a penalty on Broken Arrow, apparently. I did not see that flag. It's a big penalty, too. It moves it all the way to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer. That is 12 penalties for 103 yards now for the Tigers.
The completion and penalty moves it off to the 32-yard line and results in a Jaguar first down.
First and 10 now from the 32-yard line for Westmoore, going in, moving left to right. Black jerseys, gray pants, black helmets. Here's the snap. Blyce wanted to throw left. He's got a man open, but he threw it to the guy behind him. It's incomplete. Coming in to knock it away was Jalen Franklin, it would appear. No, it's Jennings, excuse me. Jacob Jennings able to reach in and knock the ball away. Oh, Robert Spears Jennings. The brochure said there wouldn't be this many Jennings.
Yeah.
Bring up second down and 10. And that, it looked like, Spav, the receiver that went in motion ran a flag that was about a 10-yard kind of corner.
Right.
And it looked like he was open.
I know. That's what I was wondering, why you threw to that one.
2 receivers, right. Here's the snap. Something looked goofy there. We got another flag down. And this is a false start against Westmoore. That is now 9 penalties for 64 yards. So almost as many penalties, but not quite as costly on a yards per penalty basis for Westmoore. But that is 21 penalties.
Gosh. This has just been an insane game.
I mean, these two teams have now combined to go backwards 167 yards in this contest.
Right.
Almost 2 full football fields.
Right.
That is more negative yards than the Jaguars have total on offense, 149. Blyce takes the snap, wants to throw it deep down the middle of the field. There's nobody there, but there's a flag, and that is almost certainly going to be a defensive pass interference. Credit to Jeremy Bryan, by the way, for pointing out that the total penalty yardage is more than the Jaguars have on offense. I mean, if you say on average, because you're not going to have a team score every 100 yards. It doesn't really work that way. But let's say you have a team score every 120 yards. In theory, that's 7 points worth of penalties.
Right.
Now that I'm just making up stats on the fly, we're at that point of the night. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate Jeremy Bryan said it sounds smart. And I'm tired enough at this point that I forgot that y'all can't hear Jeremy Bryan talking in the front here.
Well, there's just so much crazy going on that it's hard to think of some other crazy things. You know, I mean, just like what Jeremy was saying, that stat, I mean, that's something you don't think about because there's just so many other crazy things going around.
We need to take some time before we leave, check all the lug nuts on the tires, make sure that the air thing is properly secured. Been that kind of a night. 1st and 10 now from the Tiger 22. Handoff left side. Not a lot of room to work. Very nice tackle on the far side from Dietrich Moore yet again. On the carry that time was Josh Davis, yet another sophomore. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
It just seems like our defense has been out here the whole quarter here.
I can tell you how much of the quarter. It'll take me just a second, but I can tell you.
It's just
time of possession in the 4th quarter. Actually, it's about even.
Really?
Believe it or not. 2nd down and 10. Here's the snap. Wants to throw. Blyce launches it up the left side. He's got a man in the end zone. It is caught. Was he in bounds? Yes, he was. Touchdown, Westmoore. And suddenly we have a 1-possession game with 4 minutes to play.
That was a heck of a catch.
The Jaguar who caught the ball is down in the end zone up the far side. Laying out to make the grab. It looked like he might have fallen on the football. That was an excellent effort up the far side and a good throw from Blyce, I might add.
That was just a great catch.
Hopefully that just knocked the wind out of him and he didn't get an arm bent up sideways or something.
Now, who was it that caught that?
I'm actually not sure yet. He's still down over the far side. No, he's actually up on his feet but doubled over, I think. We should mention that up and on the field is Brandon Arnold.
Yeah, we see
so
him
he would
back.
appear to be okay. Kevion Williams has been credited in the stats, the live stats, with the touchdown.
Number 2.
So
yeah,
I'm guessing that's him that's down, and that
yeah,
is indeed Williams. He's up and walking off under his own power, but is favoring his right arm. Or maybe he's just got that hand on his hip. In any case, we hope he's okay. Quite the football play.
Well, sometimes in those, you know, that's where they usually break collarbones or something, and you don't wish that. But, yeah, he seems to be okay, though.
This point after attempt would make it a 6-point game. It's already a 7-point game, so it's just a 1-possession ball game. This PAT would make it 6. Snap back, it's high. They got it down. The kick is on the way, and it is no good. Missed it right. So it remains a 7-point game. Each team has missed a PAT wide right now in the game. 4 minutes to play. Westmoore has 2 timeouts, Spav. You kick it deep or you go for the onside?
Oh, I just think, God, I don't know, man. I mean, I would kick it deep. You know, maybe a high onside or something.
Here's what you do. You tie a fishing line that's 12 yards long to the kicker's foot and the football.
Yeah.
He kicks it, and then it magically comes back to him after having gone 10 yards.
Well, the way this game's been going.
Right? It's kind of a Looney Tunes type scenario, but can you rule it out at this point?
I know.
It would, however, break the rules. To my knowledge, that might not be in the rule book. I don't know. They might not have thought to put that in the rule book.
I love it. I love it.
Well, Westmoore has made this a football game. 19-12. Broken Arrow still leads. And this is where your hands team has to be sound. And Tigers have.
Yeah, we're putting the
who's
hands
that back
team
to
in.
return this? That's Mekhi Hanley, who's back as the lone deep man. Check that. That's Donnie Reed back as the deep man. Spears, Jennings, and Marion Horn are standing at the 40-yard line. Daw Atchison is among the group standing at the 50, along with Sterling Ramsey, Jadaean Floyd Wright, Javion Franklin.
I guess they're going to go
Josh
for the
McMillan.
onside.
And
I was thinking more of a high onside is what I would be thinking with 4 minutes.
A little
Not kick it deep.
Little chip shot over here to the 30-yard line on our side.
Well, that's what I call those high onsides. Yep. You kick them high.
Looks like he wants to kick it deep. 4:01 to go. We'll see if they come up with any trickeration here. Approaches. It is a boot, and it will be well into the end zone. It hits 2 yards deep and bounces out the backside. So Tigers will get the football on their own 20 with 4 minutes to play, and now you got to find a way to move the clock.
Right. And let's see, they have 2 timeouts. We have 1.
The Tigers have run the ball for 212 yards and are averaging a little more than 6 yards a carry. That's good news in this type of a situation when you're trying to move. I mean, the other team knows you're going to run the football.
Right.
You got to be able to find a way to be effective with it anyway. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Tight end right, pistol set. Here's the snap. Handoff right side. Marion Horn breaks through the line of scrimmage and is wrestled down at about the 25-yard line.
Number 5, Marion Horn.
Give him about 5 yards on the play, brings up 2nd down and 5.
Tackled by number 3, Levin Whirler.
Steber in the pistol again.
Keep running the clock.
2 receivers split left, including Fox in the slot. That's McMillan split out wide right. We haven't seen Spears Jennings on offense in a while.
I know.
Horn moves to the left now in the shotgun. Here's the snap, they hand it off. Marion Horn around the edge right side. 1st down yardage, and he's spun out of bounds at around the 34-yard line. They actually gave him the 35. That'll move the chains for a 1st down. Marion Horn has now carried the ball 7 times for 61 yards. He's caught 4 passes for 58. 1st and 10 now from the 35.
Love
the
it.
Safety came up to blitz and almost ran across the line of scrimmage. Broken Arrow moving right to left. The clock now down to 3:15 here in the 4th quarter. Hand off to Horn, straight up the middle. No room to work that time. Leading the way was Talon Pierce, the senior defensive end.
See, they're just penetrate. They're trying to penetrate as hard as they can there. They keep a lot of people in the box.
Marion Horn coming out of the game. Into the game comes Nathaniel Jones. Let's go down into the sideline and Madison Dildine, who is trying to kind of keep an eye on Jones over the course of this game. Madison?
Yeah, guys, usually when you see Nate playing in the game, you would describe him as explosive and ready to run through anything. But on the sidelines, he's quiet, reserved, focused, and really stays to himself for the most part besides small interactions and passing. But he's consistently stayed locked in on film. Guys?
Thank you, Madison. We had Nate Jones on Inside Tiger Football with us this week, and it was really praised from Coach Blankenship what this team was doing, or what Jones was doing away from the football. Essentially, when he went back and watched film, essentially he saw, okay, what is Jones doing, and it was came with very high marks in terms of picking up blitzes when the play was essentially going away from Jones.
Right.
Was he doing the right things, and he got very high marks in that category. I'm not exactly sure what was going on with the officials and some of the maybe administrators down here. I don't know what they were trying to run them down for, but it seems like we're ready to get back to action here. 2:56 to play, 2nd down and 11, Broken Arrow. Here's the snap. Handoff Jones, right side. Trying to get to the edge. He turns the corner, then he's chopped down at around the 39-yard line. Give him 5. It brings up 3rd down and 6.
God, we're just like one person away from scoring with that play. Seems like every time we run it, it's there and then it closes fast, just with one person.
3rd and 6, a big chance for the Tigers here. Westmoore still has 2 timeouts. Westmoore if it can come up with a stop right here on this play, it's going to get real interesting real fast. 2 receivers left. Stever's going to throw it. Looking right. Zings it. High. It is incomplete. A diving attempt made by Fox, who was coming from the near side, and he nearly got underneath it. That would have been an immaculate reception type catch right there. Instead, it brings up 4th down, and it stops the clock for Westmoore with 2:12 remaining. The Jaguars will get the ball back with 2 timeouts.
Man, you know, we had that flare. That flare was wide open, too. Not sure if it would have got the first down, but it was open.
Back to return the punt is Xavier Ware. Griffin Steber is back to punt, stands at his own 25-yard line. Not a lot of room between him and the blockers in front of him. He takes it, wants to run it over the right side, now will punt it away, fires it across the 35-yard line. It takes a Tiger hop inside the 30. It is brought, now all the way down inside the 25. They'll mark it dead inside the 24-yard line. Good punt from Steber, but that made me real nervous for a minute.
That was crazy there now.
He still had it. It looked like he was closer to the line of scrimmage than he was because of the where the first down marker was. But it looked for a minute there like he had committed.
I thought he was going to. Yes, that's
and
what I thought.
if you don't make that first down, you give him the short field.
I know.
Well, it's a 7-point game, and Westmoore, the home team, has a chance to go down and score and tie this ball game up. They start with the ball on their own 24-yard line with 1:59 remaining. And it is Jacob Blyce, who started the game as the backup quarterback, had not thrown a pass this season, in to run the offense. He is 7 for 11 for 94 yards and a touchdown through the air.
Gosh.
And he didn't even catch the first 2 snaps that he was in the game. How about that for a turnaround? Zings it over the left side. It's caught at the 28-yard line, brought down after a very short gain. Taylor Griffin on the stop. They give him the 27. The clock continues to run. Give him about 2.5 on the play. 1:42 remaining. This formation pretty tight here. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Blyce takes the snap, wants to throw. Looking over the middle, zings it left. It's high and incomplete. That'll stop the clock. 1:28 remaining. The Tigers lead 19-12. I'll tell you what, how about the kicking in this game from Hunter Martins? Without those 2 field goals, this is a 1-point ball game right now.
Exactly.
3rd down and 7 for Westmoore on its own 27. 3-down lineman for the Tigers. Here's the snap. Blyce dumps it off to the near side, and it's dropped in and out of the hands of the intended target, Andre Williams. He had a little room to work, but he tried to run before he caught the football.
Man, this is...
Well, now a big 4th down play. We haven't seen, even though Westmoore got tricky, we haven't seen him go back to that yet. And this might be the time to do it. They've taken a timeout, have the Jaguars, to talk things over. Because this is a situation, Spav, where if you're Westmoore, you have to have everybody on the same page on this play, or the game's over.
And it's got to be a first down play.
Yep. You got to get at least 7.
Yeah, it's not a play where you got to score because you have plenty of time. It's a play to get a first down. So we'll see what they come up with.
Question is, how tricky do they get?
Sometimes you can get too tricky.
You can trick yourself, so to speak.
Yes. But when they're running normal offense, we're just shutting it down.
4th down and 7. 1 receiver splits left towards the short side of the field. That is the previously injured Kevion Williams, who's back in the game. He made that last touchdown grab. 2 receivers right and a tight end right. Tigers look like they might bring pressure. It's a pitch to the right side. It somehow bounces up into the hands of Arnold. He wants to throw it, launches it back the other way. There's a screen set up for the quarterback. Blyce has it. First down yardage across the 35 to the 40. Across midfield, and he jumps out of bounds at the 45-yard line of the Broken Arrow Tigers. Oh, no, they mark him out of bounds all the way back at the 49 of Westmoore. That play, the pitch was awful. It bounced
and he
into
fumbled
the hands
it. I know.
of Arnold, and he somehow still picks it up, turns and lobs a floater deluxe.
But see, that was that play they ran before, and they had the quarterback out, but he ended up throwing it down the field first time.
What a world.
Gosh.
The clock didn't move a whole lot. 1:12 remaining now. Here's the snap. Blyce looking to throw it right. Dumps it over the middle. It is incomplete, too low for the intended target. Looking for Xavier Simpkins. It brings up first down, second down and 10. Good grief. Second down and 10 from the 49-yard line.
Man.
Only 4 seconds ran off that time.
I know.
Back in the twilight zone. 19-12 Broken Arrow. The Tigers have scored only 3 points in the second half. Second down and 10 now for Westmoore from its own 49. They got a minute and 8 seconds to put the ball in the end zone. Rolling to his right is Blyce. Lobs it over the near side. It's caught inside the 40. He is upended at the 35-yard line. The catch was made by Xavier Simpkins. On the tackle that time was Javion Franklin. Hurry up offense. 3 receivers split right. They're going to spike it. There's only 2 guys that are eligible in the formation. Blyce does spike it with 1 minute remaining exactly, and the ball on the Broken Arrow 35-yard line. Good play drawn up there.
Well, what they're doing on that play is they're running you off with the outside receiver, and the inside's just coming out on like a, they call it like a swing type route, which is like a deeper out comeback type situation. And they're good at that. They've done it several times on us tonight. Clear that corner out and then have your safety come down and try and make a play on it. Because our backers aren't going there because we're putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
As wacky as this game has been, somehow, a full 3 hours later, it has conjured the closest football game of the year so far for the Tigers.
Yes.
Can they find a way to get a stop in a situation that they frankly haven't been in at this point in the year? They've not been in a situation where they had to get a stop to win a football game.
That's true. That is true.
Can Broken Arrow do something it has yet to do this season? Trying to get to 2-2 on the year and move to 1-0 in district play, the district opener for both of these teams. Remember, the final district standings produce your seeding for the playoffs. 2nd and 10 for Westmoore from the Broken Arrow 35. The Tigers nursing a 7-point advantage. 2 receivers right, 1 left. All pretty close to the formation. Tight end right as well. Blyce in the pistol. Takes the snap. Got pressure off the backside. Dumps it to the near side. It's incomplete. There was a miscommunication there. He was looking for Andre Williams, who never had any idea the ball was behind him.
I know.
If Williams is turning and looking for that ball, it's probably a catch. That was a lot of pressure on Blyce, too.
I know, but the underneath was open. But, it wasn't a first down or anything.
Got to play clean football here. It's 3rd and 10. Here's the snap. Ball was dropped. Blyce picks it up. Now dumps it over the middle. It's caught at the 33-yard line. A minimal gain. He's wrapped up and brought down by Dietrich Moore and company. A gain of 3 moves it down to the 32-yard line. And yet another 4th down is coming up here. The clock on the move with 43 seconds left. Will they take their final timeout? If you're Westmoore here, you got to make sure you're all on the same page. No timeout yet. 35 seconds remaining. 2 receivers will be split left, 1 right. 4th down and 7. Again, a bunch set. Blyce on 4th and 7 takes the snap. Looking over the middle. Still looking. Launches it up the left side. Looking for the receiver, and it is incomplete, but a flag is down. Pass interference on the Tigers, and that will keep Westmoore alive.
With 20 seconds left.
20 seconds to play. There was a lot of contact there.
Well, it's 1st down now. Now they can take a lot of shots in the end zone.
Yep. That 15-yard penalty is going to move Westmoore inside the red zone to the 17-yard line. That is penalty number 14 on the Tigers tonight for more than 130 yards.
Oh, they just put
it at the 22. Defensive holding is the call, not pass interference.
Oh, yeah.
A 10-yard penalty instead of 15.
Good.
1st and 10 with 20 seconds remaining. Blyce fakes a handoff for some reason. Now rolling to his right. Wants to throw, launches it towards the end zone. He's got a man. It is caught. Touchdown, Westmoore. No, it's incomplete. It's incomplete. Knocked away by R.J. Spears-Jennings.
Man, I thought he had it. Oh,
boy,
thank
everything I saw, because we hadn't seen a signal yet, indicated touchdown. Spears-Jennings comes out waving his arms, incomplete, and then finally the signal came from the officials. 2nd down and 10 from the 22.
Oh, great play.
14 seconds to go.
Come on, baby, let's
Excellent late defensive effort there for the Tigers. Broken Arrow trying to move to 1-0 in district play. The Tigers have scored 19 points, 16 of which came in the first half. The second half has mostly favored Westmoore. 2 receivers left. Here's the snap. Blyce under pressure, steps up in the pocket, wants to run, now launches it towards the end zone, and it's intercepted by Spears-Jennings coming out the end zone up the far side, and he takes a knee at the 14-yard line. Ball game, dagger, Tigers lead by 7.
Oh, that's so fitting to have him have an interception in the end zone.
He had a pick 6 that is the 7-point difference in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also comes up with a game-sealing interception in the end zone.
And then he saved that touchdown just right then with that great defensive play there.
And you wonder why OU wants him to play defense.
Yes.
There you go.
Because he makes plays.
Well, he's so long.
And he's so instinctive to the game. He just understands it.
5 seconds left on the clock. The Tigers will take a knee, and that will do it. 19-12. Broken Arrow gets it done. They're 1-0 in district play, and they even the season record at 2-2.
That's all you needed right there. You know, that was a
it is mind-boggling to me that a game that was so start and stop and cattywampus for 3 full hours of football produced one of the most exciting endings of the most exciting ending of the year and one of the most exciting individual plays.
Exactly. I'm telling you, that was just, you know, like I told you, I've been coaching a long time, and there's some things, some firsts that I have seen. And this is just crazy, the amount of penalty. I mean, this is like a first ball game of the year, as we talked about.
14 penalties for 128 yards, but in Spav, somehow the Tigers ended up even in the turnover category.
Yeah.
They fumbled 4 times,
I know.
but they're able to force 4 to draw even in that category. And if they don't, then it's like it's possible that this game is in overtime right now.
I know, it's just totally insane of what's happening here. You know, the time of the possession, just things that are happening, the penalties. I've never seen a game this many penalties, but like I said, this is just early game issues right here.
Broken Arrow was outpossessed by 4 minutes. They ran 4 less plays than Westmoore.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, 7 less plays than Westmoore. But they doubled Westmore's average in yards per play.
I know. It's just, you knew we dominated the game, but it's like, what's going on here? But the timing was off. The turnovers, the amount of the penalties, snap count issues. You know, we just had issues everywhere. You know, even special teams. We had two missed extra points.
Now the silver lining of that, of course, is you do all that, issues, mistakes, and you still found a way to win the game.
Absolutely.
And there is something to be built on there, but
no, you're absolutely right. You know, a win's a win, even though it's an ugly win. An ugly win, I mean, is that going to be in the paper as an ugly win down the line?
No, what's going to be in the paper is R.J. Spears-Jennings wins it for Broken Arrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a win.
Yep.
And that's all that matters, and I'm telling you. And I've had to deal with that as a coach with my coaches. I'd have an offensive coordinator just be, he would just be so down on himself because even though we won the game that we didn't play great offense. Well, I'd have to tell him, we won the game. Now go in there and you tell those kids how proud you are of them or whatever, because that's a win.
Absolutely, and the Tigers already heading back towards the locker room. There's a countdown clock on the scoreboard for some reason. I'm not quite sure what that's about. We're going to stick around and
lights going out at 12 minutes.
Hopefully hear from Josh Blankenship if we can snag him real quick. If not, he's already done one interview. Let's see if we can go down to the sideline in Madison Dildine. Madison.
Coach, thrilling win with RJ's final interception in the final fourth quarter. What did you like from your team?
I like that we put RJ on defense. Obviously, he made an impact. I love that we stayed poised despite all the adversity and found a way to get the win.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Blankenship, and thank you, Madison Dildine, on the sidelines for us tonight. It was phenomenal to have her again be a part of the broadcast and get rolling a little bit. We talked with Coach Blankenship about R.J. Spears-Jennings playing more defense on Inside Tiger Football this week. Clearly, that was a good decision, but we saw this team in several aspects looked different than it did in the first 3 weeks of the season, because you saw a lot more of Marion Horn on offense tonight. You saw a lot more R.J. Spears-Jennings on defense tonight. There were clearly some different things that were in the works for this team today, and maybe that's what led to some of those penalties.
Well, from these first 3 games, you're going to evaluate personnel and all, and all your situations, and that's probably what they saw. They saw they needed to have them on offense more, or whatever. More RJ on defense. It was something that's really important, and they just need to continue to go. And as listening to Coach Blankenship, we know he's proud of the fact that we found a way to win, and we are too. But he's totally unhappy about how the play was, and I know Coach talk, and I know that he was very, he's upset with the sloppy play, because that's not his style of football, his kind of football. He runs a great, disciplined offense, and we just had too many, fumbles and missed assignments.
And the nice thing is you get an extra day before the next contest to try to iron out some of those kinks. Let's go down to Madison Dildine one more time. Madison, any final thoughts as we wrap things up here tonight?
I know we've talked a lot about the players on both sides.
Nope, we lost Madison. Madison cut off in her final thoughts there.
Sorry, Madison.
That's kind of a bummer, but that's okay. We will hear from her next week. We made it all the way through until the very last minute there. We needed a few less penalties. We could have closed that one out. But Spav, I'll turn to you instead. Any final thoughts as we wrap this one up?
No, just like we're saying, it may have been a sloppy game, but it was a win, and we're going to learn from it and go on, and that's what it's all about. When you get into this second part of your season, which is the district play, it's just win. Just win and just keep winning and try to win the district. And that's what we got to do. We have to go into the next game. You got to prepare for each game the same now. You're going to prepare hard. Like you said, we got an extra day. But, there's a lot that can come from this game. And the thing is, we found a way to win.
District play. 1 in the win column.
That's it.
None in the loss column. Tigers start out 1-0. We'll have another chance to improve upon that next week in going to be a tough assignment against the James Trojans coming to Broken Arrow. So that'll be a fun one to look forward to. Of course, we'll have that game for you on ArrowVision. But we thank you for tuning in tonight. A big thanks to our crew, Miles Towery, DeAndre Clay, both on cameras, Chloe Davis, our TD tonight, Michaela Reyes on graphics, Antonio Hurling, our director, and Terry Sprider, our engineer. On the Magic Man, typing in all the stats. Skip Hyde down the hall from us was a big help tonight. Jeremy Bryan, our spotter. Madison Dildine on the sidelines. Your color analyst for the evening, Steve Spavital, and I'm Adam Hildebrandt. Again, one final time tonight. The Tigers win it 19-12, 2-2 on the year, 1-0 in district play. We'll talk to you next week. I'm Adam Hildebrandt saying good night and God bless from Moore.